Hello?
Wait,
Is it working?
Yeah, are you a Brit blogger?
No, I'm not a Brit blogger. What the fuck is... I'm trying to, wait for this guy to fucking add me, God.
Oh, I'm
Shit.
the guy. What the fuck? I added you. Alright, how you
Oh.
doing? Who
You are? Okay, I'm seeing, a lag then. Holy shit, I'm sorry.
Wait, do you just pick up calls from random people that add you on Skype? You didn't even...
No, I'm waiting for this shit to happen.
Okay, alright.
Wait, so you're Destiny?
Yeah, most people call me Steven in real life, though, but...
Okay, Steven, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know you. I got this...
Well, now you know me. What's your first name?
I know you. What's my what?
Your name, your first name.
You don't have to say.
Yeah, I really prefer not to. I'm gonna go by the name of Sybil because that's my sort of internet alias.
Holy shit!
Sybil.
Is that inspired by the movie?
No. Have you ever played Final Fantasy XI?
No, I stopped at 10.
Okay, well, 11 was an online game, and there is a very minor NPC in that game whose name is Star Sybil, or the Sybil the Prophet. So I've always used that sort of name to describe myself online, just that I like the way it sounds. So I'll use all kinds of shit. No, it's not with a C; it's with an S. So yeah, that's my online alias.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I know very little about you, and I'm sorry I was brought here by a poll thread to debate you. And so let's, I guess, talk about the election because it appears to be the really big thing that we're going to talk about.
Sure. All right. So just to preface this is a discussion. I mean, it's not like a hardcore debate. I'm not going to be screaming at you. You're not going to be screaming at me. This isn't like a Bill O'Reilly or Hardball.
Oh, please. Absolutely. I'm very happy because that's not what I'm interested in doing.
Okay.
I was actually getting nervous because I don't know anything about you. And I was like, oh, I don't want to get screamed at by somebody.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
We're just going to discuss it. That's perfect. Great.
All right. How do you want to start it off?
I don't know. So I know very little about you. So what exactly? So I'm a Trump supporter. I will give a little bit of my political history. When I was a teenager, so I'm 26 years old, and when I was a teenager, I was actually from the time I was a teenager up until very recently, I was an anarcho-communist. I voted for Ron Paul in 2008, and I voted for Gary Johnson in 2012. I also actually voted for Dennis Kucinich in the primaries in 2008. If anyone remembers that guy, he was an extreme socialist. So I really don't have a specific political ideology. Where I would consider myself now is as a minarchist or a light anarcho-capitalist. So it really, I don't like labels though, but there you go.
Okay, sure, gotcha.
I am now definitely a Trump supporter, though. I'm extremely anti-Hillary. I love Jill Stein. I think Gary Johnson's gone insane.
Okay.
So that's where I am.
I guess, to be very brief, I grew up very, very, very right-leaning. My parents are very Catholic. I grew up very Catholic. I went to Catholic grade school, Jesuit Catholic high school.
Good. I love the Jesuits.
Yeah, they're cool dudes. I mean, I'm an atheist now, but I don't regret any of my education. I was pretty right-leaning for quite a long time, up until probably about 2 to 3 years ago. I started to swap to being left-leaning more. Honestly, I think I would be more conservative, but it's really hard to get behind any Republican these days, and it seems like they all exist in like this kind of insane world of insanity. I feel like Trump embodies a lot of that insanity, though.
I don't think Trump does. I think Trump, he's kind of like a beautiful, though, embodiment of insanity in that he is not what we expect.
I mean, I don't expect somebody to argue with like an accomplished neurosurgeon that children will get will get autism when they get vaccines. Like, what do you mean by expect?
We expect the GOP to be so incredibly hardcore Christian right wing.
Sure.
But
you do know that you do know that in one of Trump's first rallies, Trump said that the two most important books in the world to him, he held up the Bible and then he said his book, right?
Why? Yeah, I mean, you know that Hillary used to say that gay marriage is absolutely wrong. And
if you're looking for me to defend Hillary, it's not going to happen. I fucking hate Hillary.
Wait.
Okay?
So okay. So is the purpose of this debate to debate Trump or to debate whether or not Hillary is a complete criminal who should be in jail?
I don't deny any of that about Hillary, but the problem is Trump is so bad it.
Okay, I don't understand then the issues between the left and the right in this debate.
Because Trump is
the fact that Hillary is a complete insane criminal who is completely backed up by a government sort of, I want to say conspiracy, but a large group of individuals who are really motivated both financially and politically to support her and the Clintons, and just understand that they are completely unbiased and completely just fucked up, then our only issue left is whether or not Trump is good. But we have to, I think, sort of just come out of the gate saying like, holy shit, Hillary is wrong. Now, is Trump right?
Okay, so to back up a little bit, I don't disagree with anything that you say. I think that Hillary Clinton is probably the epitome of an American politician, somebody that takes money behind the door, somebody that changes their views to suit whatever the public wants to hear. She's done it on gay marriage. She's done it on multiple issues in the debates versus Bernie. And I think that she gets all of her money from Wall Street, or a large portion of her money comes from Wall Street, so she's beholden to
Saudi Arabia and Qatar.
Yeah, sure.
Which is treason.
Well, this might be a stretch, but
is it? It's legally treason.
I think treason seems to be more of a political thing than an actual like right or wrong written down.
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, they've done it. Her campaign has done it in such a way to make her legally not responsible for what her campaign has done in order to take money from
Wait, do you think
enemies of the state?
But do you think that's a bad thing?
For her to take money from Saudi Arabia?
If they utilize loopholes that exist in the system? Because my next question is going to be, how do you feel about Trump avoiding taxes by utilizing loopholes in the system?
Yes. Okay, so this is an interesting question. I think that Trump's reasons are a little bit different from Hillary's. I think Trump is as guilty of breaking the law as Hillary.
So just to get this out there, I think that Hillary's done a lot of wrong things, probably illegal things. I think that she's mishandled things like Libya and Benghazi, and I think that her stance in the Iraq War was weak. So I'm not going to defend any of these positions that maybe like I'm not a Hillary supporter. If I were to vote and I wouldn't vote for Hillary, it's only because I dislike everything that Trump stands for so much. So if you continue to attack Hillary, it's not what. What does Trump stand for? I mean, we can go by point if you want.
Yes, let's please.
Okay, so the biggest problem that I have with Trump is that I personally feel like Trump is an idiot. Every time he talks...
That's not a good point. Every politician's an idiot.
No, that's not true. Trump is actually like just very stupid.
If he's so stupid, why does he have so many $million interviews? And whoa. Before you say that they were all bankrupt, do you understand that a smart business person sells off their bankrupt company?
Okay, firstly, I'm not talking about any bankruptcy memes, okay? I understand how bankruptcy works. I know that he's never filed for personal bankruptcy. He's had businesses that have filed for bankruptcy. Okay, all right, sure. I'm not an idiot. I promise you I'm not an idiot, okay? Or at least not as much of one as the average Hillary supporter. I don't even like to be thought of as Hillary supporter, but... Okay, but, so, I mean, like, there are so many bombastic statements that Trump has made that have to make me wonder. Like this, I went through the same thing with Sarah Palin, where Sarah Palin, obviously the extreme evangelical, like the world is 6,000 years old. Like when people start making statement after statement like that, like I have to wonder, like, are you an actual fucking idiot? So like on Trump, you've got things like climate change is a myth pushed by China to, make our manufacturing.
That's a stupid statement, but was it not satire? Because I'm actually not sure.
No,
I think we should
stop. No. Hold on. Wait, no. I don't.
Sure, because I'm actually not positive.
Okay, hold on. Because I see people on poll do this and I see people do this, okay? I'm not going to let you get away with this, okay? You cannot tell me that Trump didn't believe something every time he says something that isn't convenient for you. Trump has had a number of tweets, 25 plus tweets, and he said it multiple times on recorded speech, and I can go pull you videos where he has said that climate change is a myth. Do not lie to me and tell me that he said it out of satire, okay?
Okay, here's the thing. Climate change is not a myth. Human-focused climate change is a myth.
Why do you? Okay, so tell me why you disagree with 97% of scientific organizations around the world. Can you tell me why? Like what?
I don't. I am a scientist. I'm a professor, so I actually do agree with them that the climate is changing. But the fact of the matter is that the climate is not changing because of human intervention. You have to look at the history of the Earth over time, and you see that we go through periods of hot periods and ice age periods, and we are right now coming out of a small ice age, and that is why our average temperature is raising. This is not because of some sort of... now, don't get me wrong. Human intervention on the environment is a serious issue. We are destroying the environment in some ways, but our actual influence on the whole temperature of the world is not entirely based on human influence.
Maybe not entirely, but again,
it is partially, yes.
97%.
Cow farts.
97%.
I hate the fact that that is used, but the fact of the matter is that that is partially based on cow farts, and that is, yes, part of human intervention. But the fact of the matter is that we are actually coming out of an ice age in the normal cycle of the planet Earth.
Okay, so the fact that temperatures are spiking in completely unprecedented ways over the past, like, couple of decades in ways that haven't been seen or recorded in all of human history, and that going back appear to be moving very far out of the average of what we would expect the temperatures to be, the fact that the amount of carbon in our atmosphere is increasing, the fact that 97% of scientific organizations in the world have said that climate change is real and people contribute to it. They have said both things. They have said both.
What did I just say? I just said climate change is real.
Okay, and that no. And as a step further, that scientists believe that humans are a major contributing factor in that, right? But
we are a contributing factor.
A major contributing factor.
Let's get into this. Why are we a contributing factor? So let me ask you this question since we're talking about it. What is your opinion on nuclear energy?
I love nuclear. I think we should have pursued nuclear a long time ago, but it needs to be rebranded because people are fucking stupid, and when they hear nuclear, they get scared.
Okay, thank you. That's really good. Because that is the problem. The fact that we use so much coal and oil and natural gas is part of the reason that we emit so much CO2. So I would absolutely admit 100% that we are a contributing factor to climate change, but climate change is also a natural part of the way that the Earth works. Because we can look back thousands of years and see changes in how climate goes up and down through periods of large and minor ice ages. And actually, our general...
Okay, well, can I... Okay. You understand that temperature and climate, that's a very slow process, right? When our...
Yes,
like,
it is, exactly.
as humans, or I'm sorry, as the planet Earth, when we go from an ice age to a non-ice age in different periods, it's not like yesterday it was, 52 Fahrenheit...
Do you understand? Do you understand I'm a PhD? Like, let's don't talk to me like I'm a retard. So
I mean, you're the one telling me that cow farts are the things contributing to climate change. Like,
no! Holy shit! I said that also is a part of it as anything else. I was using it was kind of making a little meme.
Okay,
there.
but the massive divergence that we've had from surface temperatures over the past 13 months isn't indicative of a slow average rise in temperature.
I agree. I agree completely. What we're experiencing is a weird fucking combination. Is a combination of we are coming out of an ice age, and you can see that over the course of the last 100 years, and even more than that. We're coming out of an ice age, and then fucking on top of that, we have the CO2 that all of our shit, that all of our industry is producing.
Okay, so then you believe that man has contributed to, in a large way, to climate temperature, or to surface temperatures changing?
In a moderate way, yes.
In a moderate, I need to nail you down on a percentage. Do you think it's like a 2% thing or approximately?
By the way, chat, I have a PhD in media psychology, so yes. So no, I think it's a moderate way. I don't think it's complete.
Okay, so a moderate way, and can I read you the points that every scientific organization agrees on so that I can just get this out here?
Okay, but I'm probably gonna disagree with some shit, but go ahead.
Okay.
Actually, I probably won't disagree because I am a scientist.
Okay.
But
I mean, scientists disagree with each other all the time, but okay.
But I usually disagree. Okay, so I'm really going to try not to be mean.
Okay.
But when I put out a piece of research.
Okay.
Laymen don't understand how to interpret statistics, okay? And this is kind of why we get so much media insanity over so many things.
Okay,
Because
I totally 100%.
layman doesn't understand how to interpret scientific data.
I agree with you.
And my college particularly runs a blog for the specific purpose of trying to make it so that laymen can understand scientific data.
Okay, I 100% agree with what you're saying, but you are committing the crime that you are accusing the average person of doing. You realize that, right? So when I look for positions on global climate change, personally, I do not peruse.
I have no opinion.
Okay.
I have no opinion other than I believe it absolutely exists.
Okay.
I just am skeptical about the amount, because if you listen to a liberal, oh please, I'm being asked to be doxxed, which is the exact reason I asked not to do this. So, great. I'm gonna get doxxed, and I will lose my job if you guys dox me, by the way. I could potentially lose my fucking position. Anyway, so
can I talk about this for 1 second? Because what you just said really triggered me, okay? So I personally do not go through all of the data for global warming, the data itself, because I'm not educated enough to make sense of it. I don't understand the complex interaction between temperatures and climate and carbon in the atmosphere and all of that shit. I can't do it because I'm not educated enough to do it. So I rely on the statements from scientific organizations with people that have spent their lives researching it. So when we have an argument and I say 97% of the scientific community agrees with these massive points, one of which is that mankind has significantly contributed to global warming, and you tell me, well, look, we just came out of a mini ice age, you realize that you're the one that sounds like the average uneducated consumer who is taking one piece of information and going, well, look, a little ice age, so we're fine.
Well, I think you need to go back a little bit further than that.
Further than what?
Further than, what did you say, 100 years ago? You need to go back about 3,000 years ago and look at and then actually go back more than 3,000 and go back 10,000 years ago. And
everybody's done this.
I'm starting to get concerned because I think I'm getting doxxed.
Stop talking about it. People stop doing it. You're not getting doxxed. I'll ban anybody if they say they're doing it. But I guess the problem is I don't know of any major credible scientific organization that backs anything you're saying, is what bothers me.
I don't think you're reading it too closely, because the information does indicate. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not a fucking.
You're not a climate scientist, a meteorologist, or
climate scientist. I'm not.
I don't disagree with you. I understand you're not, which is why, and I'm not either, which is why I only go by what the major scientific organizations say. But you're the one.
No. What I've said is that, okay, so what Donald Trump said about the Chinese is 100% wrong. Okay.
Okay. So then that's fine. Then that's all. The only point that what he said was really stupid, right?
My issue with climate change is that I do think that we are in a period of coming out of a small ice age, and this is not a thing that we have. That is unprecedented. We've seen this before.
No, we have not. We've never seen these spikes of temperatures occur in such a dramatic fashion before. That's not true. Why are you saying that?
We agree with that, though. But I'm saying that human intervention is, increasing it. And I never said anything to the contrary.
Okay, so we won't go into this completely, but you agree that what Trump said was stupid about that, right?
It was stupid.
Okay.
I said that when we started this.
Okay, then fine. Then we can put everything else. Then everything else you can put aside. Strong feelings, whatever.
Question, because everyone's saying I'm flip-flopping.
Okay, don't worry. That's fine. Don't worry about chat. Ignore chat. It's just you and me, okay? So
this though, that I believed that our human influence was increasing CO2 levels, that were increasing it.
Okay, we're moving past that.
Yes or no? Did I not say that?
Yeah, but to a small percentage. You're trying to weasel out of it.
Yes, to a small. I do think that's a percentage where people act like this is insane. It's like, yes, but this has happened before. We can look at 12,000 years ago, and there was the same thing happening.
No, that's not true. Stop saying that. Temperatures have never risen in the ways that they are now. It's never happened.
No. I'm sorry. I'm saying never in the way they have now. But
that's the point. We're talking about what's happening now. That's the issue. What?
Okay. In terms of what's happening now, yes, it is a much more extreme. But the point of the matter is that the Earth's temperature goes up and down in periods.
But not in as dramatic of a fashion as they are. That's the whole point of the...
And I'm agreeing.
Okay, then we don't disagree. Okay, then let's move on. I'm ready to move on from this topic. I'm ready to move on. So we agree that what Trump said was probably stupid about Chinese... Okay. What do you think about Trump making the statement that vaccines probably cause autism in children?
When did he say that?
During the debate, he said it to Ben Carson. I can bring up the exact thing if you want to listen to the quote. He said that initially he said, all these beautiful children are now everybody has autism at epidemic levels because we've increased the way that we diagnose for it. And then he said that vaccines cause autism. Maybe we give them too many vaccines at once.
Now we are in my sort of area a little bit more. All right. So the fact of the matter is that Trump was wrong about that statement, but he was not wrong about the general fact. The fact of the matter is that it's not that we overdiagnose autism. It's that our criteria for diagnosing autism has changed.
Sure, of course.
Versus how it was earlier. The DSM-6 is very different than earlier versions of psychology manuals. So I'm very familiar with psychology manuals.
Okay, wait. So then how could you say that what Trump said...
I want you to understand, though, also, that there is a prevalence of overdiagnosis, okay? Because if you look at the sort of criteria that are included in terms of what makes an autism diagnosis, it's things like being really into something, children who are really obsessed with a certain thing. And if you include that, and I'm telling you, as a psychologist...
I thought your PhD was in media analysis. What did you...
Media psychology, but
Media psychology and clinical psychology? Or I feel like these are two very different areas.
Things. Thank you, actually, because nobody ever gets that. But yes, they are very different things.
Okay.
But the idea...
Well, because you said as a psychologist, but you're not the kind of person that would be in charge of managing diagnostic criteria in the DSM-6, so...
I would not. That's correct. However, I do have an undergrad and a master's in it. So what I would say is that it tends to get overdiagnosed because if you look at the criteria in the DSM-6 and the DSM-V, there's... it's really very open to someone who is a little bit weird or someone who has a little bit more some obsession with some shit. So yes, it gets more diagnosed. And I will tell you that there actually was a crisis over ADD and ADHD, where there was a overdiagnosis of ADD and ADHD when the DSM-4 came out, which was it was like any kid who's a little bit excited and a little bit too too into shit is now has attention deficit disorder. And the problem is sometimes when new things get defined by the DSM, which is Diagnostic Statistic Manual, it just, psychologists look for it too much. It's too present in their minds. It's what we call a recency effect.
Okay, hold on. We're getting way off. Regardless of why more people are diagnosed with something, or regardless of whether or not the diagnostic criteria have changed, has nothing to do with saying that vaccines are causing autism.
I think that's completely stupid.
Okay, okay. That's it. Then that's all we know. Okay.
No, I mean, I still like Trump, but here's the thing.
Okay, well, I'm not done yet. I've got so many more things we could go through.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Or did you want to...
No, if Trump said that, and I didn't know he said that, that's completely wrong and stupid. There is absolutely no scientific data to support that. Okay. There is some scientific data to support that the Earth goes through natural cycles of warm and cold, but there's none to support that vaccines cause autism.
Okay. Okay, so then I'm trying to stay to the relatively non-controversial stupid statements because other things, I guess, could be argued one way or another. How do you feel about Trump saying that we need to, quote-unquote, bomb ISIS, and then we need to take all of the oil fields in the Middle East from, Iraq and whatnot? Do you think that that's, a realistic foreign policy goal?
Hyperbolic, but I would say also that you understand if you vote for Hillary, the exact second that she becomes president, she wants to fucking
Two things.
War with Russia because she thinks Putin...
I don't think so. I don't think so. First, okay, two things. I'm not defending Hillary here. I'm not defending Hillary here. Firstly, okay? We can have a separate discussion on Hillary if you want, okay?
Wait, okay, I'm sorry. We've just said that Hillary's awful, right?
Sure. Okay. So
let's say Hillary's awful. Let's let her go.
Here is my second point. This really bothers me. My mom does this a lot, okay? And I see people do this on the fucking Poltards do it, the Trumples do it, people in the Donald do it. You have this thing, you have this problem where you study psychology, so I'm sure you know what confirmation bias is, right? Where if you believe...
Some shit.
Okay, you believe in a certain thing, so you only look for evidence that supports that certain thing, and everything else is discarded. So the way that this... What?
That is confirmation bias. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on, because I'm trying to address something you just said before we say 50 million more things. Okay. I hate the fact that every single time in your case, a Democrat says something, you guys spin it as this is him trying to destroy white culture. This is him trying to destroy rich people. This is him trying to destroy business America. However, any single time Trump says something, oh no, he didn't mean that. Oh, he was just being hyperbolic. Oh, he misspoke there. Oh, you're twisting his words. Oh, that was just locker room talk. Oh, that was like, does that bother you at all that you have to make so many excuses for what Trump says, but anytime a Democrat says something even slightly leaning in like a direction you disagree with, it's automatically the destruction of white culture across the entire Western world. That doesn't bother you?
I'm gonna tell you a very simple thing.
Okay.
What Trump does are something called thought crimes. You could read George Orwell's 1984.
I've read it. I don't understand how we're in thought crimes, but okay.
What Hillary does are real crimes.
I'm not here to defend Hillary, dog. I'm talking about...
I'm sorry, but I'm saying that's what always gets brought up. It's like, oh, he said a thing. That makes me upset. And it's like...
He has no political experience. What else are we supposed to judge him on?
What? Why are we supposed to judge one side on what they say and the other side not on what they do?
Because he has no political experience. All we can judge him by is what he says.
And Hillary barely has any political experience. When she was in fucking power, she got a bunch of people killed in Benghazi. So, like,
do you think that's the only thing Hillary's done in the 30 years she's been in office? In the 450 plus pieces of legislation she's had her name on going through the Senate, the only thing that Hillary... I'm not here to defend... I don't even want to defend Hillary, but we're not... Okay, listen.
I'm sorry. I keep bringing her up.
Okay, listen. Okay, so what do we judge? So what you're saying is we should just give Trump a shot then. It doesn't matter. He's untouchable because he has no political experience and you can't judge any of the words he says.
Absolutely fucking touchable. I absolutely think he is.
So then why can't I criticize the things that he says?
Because he's done some fucked up shit. He's said some fucked up shit.
He constantly says fucked up shit all the time. That's the problem.
That's the pussy thing? Oh my god.
That's it. What about when he tweeted? What about when he tweeted the fucking fake porn video of his Miss Universe? Well, I mean, we can go time after time after time of him saying stupid fucking things.
Calling me a tranny.
What?
And then, like, your chat's been calling me a fucking tranny.
Ignore my chat. My chat's not running for president, dog. Like, I don't care what my chat says. Fuck.
It's funny to me that when a woman says she isn't upset about the idea of a guy saying he likes to kiss pretty women, it's absolutely reprehensible and so fucked up that it can't be possible. It can't be real that a woman's like, yeah, guys like to kiss pretty women.
Is that how you're spinning this?
I'm not trying to spin it.
You're spinning it. So if I were to find you in your university and I were to walk up and just give your boob a little fucking shake and then try to fucking nuzzle on your neck and shit, and you think I'm the most disgusting person in the world, but because I'm a fucking streamer and I have some money, you think that's okay for me to do it? That's not insulting to you at all as a woman or a person?
Are we talking about the actual allegations against Trump? Because I have some...
No, you were defending the locker room talk. You were saying it's not a big deal what he said.
So talk is not action. Talk is not action.
Okay.
Whoa, okay.
I mean, so here's your stance. I can't win the argument. Like, I admit you win, dude. Because you're going to tell me that Trump hasn't been in political office and hasn't done the bad things that Hillary's done, so therefore Trump is always going to be better. That's your, like, syllogistic approach to this. So, like, I can't win. Like, it's...
Hillary has said about rape victims, if we're going to say talk matters, how come Hillary's saying that women who accused Bill of rape are, like, horrible people who are trying to get attention? How come she laughs after defending a victim of rape? Or, I'm sorry, defending a rapist against a victim of child rape? How come that speech is fine? But when Donald Trump says, grab him by the pussy, in a fucking joke to another man in a bus, that's fucked up. I don't understand. I really don't. I don't get it.
I mean, we can keep talking and maybe you will understand. I'm not saying that Hillary is a bad person, and this isn't the only bad thing that Trump has said. The past year and a half of Trump being in politics, he's been mired with stupid statement after stupid statement after stupid statement after fucking stupid idea over and over again. What?
I don't think you understand. The people who don't like Hillary, which is basically anyone who's spent more than 3 seconds looking into her background, they feel like they have no option outside of Donald Trump, okay? And Trump is a very good he's he's great at inspiring people.
Yeah,
He's
inspiring
making-
people that hate fucking Mexicans and women, maybe. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, as a woman, why would I support him?
I don't know, dude.
Why do you think he hates
I don't know.
women?
I'm trying to find a reason why, and you haven't given me one yet.
No, wait, you're trying to ask me why he hates women? When I
Okay,
don't think
here,
he does?
let's reverse this. Why don't you tell me why you like Trump, okay? Give me reasons why you like Trump. We'll go from that, because...
One, I think he's charismatic as shit. Two, I think he knows how to run a fucking business.
Do you think that
three-
running a business and running a country are the same things?
Yeah, kind of.
Why?
Because, okay, I'm sorry, I don't know you.
Okay.
Have you ever worked like a traditional job?
Yes.
Like what?
More than you. If you have a PhD by 26, I promise you I've worked more actual jobs than you have.
I don't think so.
Tell me why you think running a business is the same as running a country.
I think it's extremely disparate. But my idea is that he has not just run some little mom and pop shop. He has run multi-million-dollar companies. He knows what makes money and he knows what doesn't.
Okay, do you think that, but how does this say, he can run a business. I don't disagree with you there. Why do you think running a business and running a country are the same things?
Okay. This country is in extreme debt. Do you understand that?
What kind
We
of
are
debt?
in- we owe trillions of dollars to China.
Why is that a bad thing?
Yeah. Why is it a bad thing that we own?
Yeah, tell me. I want you to tell me why it's a bad thing.
Because we. Oh my God. Okay. So we are not. Our country at this time does not have the ability to be self-sustaining. China. Okay, but we don't have the ability to be self-sustaining. All right. We owe so much money to China. They could call our fucking bluff at any time.
So China, a country that holds... No, listen to me, okay? Listen to me, okay? Degree in psychology, okay? Listen to me. So China, that holds a massive amount of U.S. currency and whose biggest trading partner is the United States of America, is going to call our bluff and bankrupt our country? What does that even...
Correct. You're correct. They will not. But does that really put us in a good position as a country, as a sovereign?
You're asking me, does it put us in a good position when? Listen to me. I want you to understand what you're asking me. You're asking me, does it put us in a good position when tons of countries around the world hold on to U.S. debt and have an invested interest in the success of the United States economy? You're asking me if that puts us in a good position? Yeah, okay, listen, the debt, I understand where you're coming from, and I know what you're talking about, okay? However, this is part of the reasons why Trump is a fucking idiot. The debt is not a one-dimensional thing. Trade deficits are not one-dimensional things. Deficits and debts and our national debt represents so much more than just a bill on a fucking credit card, okay? Our debt is a very complicated thing, and our position in the world, to some extent, is secured by the fact that tons of other countries have invested in us. When we run up a trade deficit with China, and they spend way more fucking money, they have to bring those US dollars back to the United States to invest in our property, invest in our infrastructure, and other countries become invested in how we run as a country, okay? So when you come up and you say like, well, look at our big national debt, you have to have a little bit more than that than just, well, our debt is kind of bad, right? I know this is like a really common Trump talking point, but you need a little bit more substance than just saying we have debt and it's bad.
Right, so just saying that I'm a Trumple? That's interesting. No. Okay, so first of all, why do libs want us to be in fucking debt to other countries? We should be a sovereign nation and we should get out of global economy.
What do you mean get out? I don't know, dude.
We need to get the fuck out. We need to produce our own shit. We need to run our own shit.
Why would we want to make our own shit if China could do it better and cheaper?
Because it destroys American jobs.
What jobs are destroyed?
Okay, all right.
Unemployment is like fucking five.
No, shut up. We're coming here now. Now, here's the thing. I'm from West Virginia, okay? I know it's like, this big, stupid West Virginian. Now, here's the thing. I want you to understand that West Virginia was originally a state that produced coal, okay? And then, after the coal industry was basically entirely destroyed by the legislation, Oh, you're gonna laugh? Okay, this is very funny, guys. All right, so the steel industry, which took over in West Virginia and Pennsylvania and southern Pennsylvania during the early 1900s, okay? It has been systematically destroyed by legislation by West Virginia and Pennsylvania and moved to China. And that is not a lie. That's not a China joke. Oh my god, I love how you think this is funny. I love how you think this is fucking funny. My state has been systematically fucked by this type of legislation to destroy all fucking business in my state. Okay? And I know you think it's, oh, that's so funny, isn't it? That, oh my god, that's so funny. That fucking business was destroyed in the United States. You think that's hilarious?
I don't think it's hilarious. The problem is that, again, and this is another...
I want you to look. I want you to go into Google and type in steel factory.
I don't need to. I've been to fucking Detroit and St. Louis before. I've seen countries that have, or cities that have lost their manufacturing. Like, I understand it happens, okay? But the problem is, you're quick to attribute every single loss of manufacturing to jobs being exported to China. Even Chinese employees are losing jobs to automation. These are jobs that probably would have been lost anyway, okay? It's just something that...
These are jobs that were lost by legislation. I fucking know because I live here, okay? I know how the legislation fucking works here, and you cannot tell me that this was anything else. I have lived my entire life, for the most part, in the state.
Okay, so let's go through the hypothetical Trump train where we somehow tariff every single import to protect all of our industries. What are we going to...
We should tariff the import of steel, because we have steel industries here in the United States, in Pennsylvania, and in West Virginia that can still operate.
Okay, how much do you...
Do you understand how bad the taxes are on our own steel industries? That if you go to Follinsville, West Virginia, and you look at the steel plant, it has a Japanese name on it now because it was moved to Japan. And Japan, which is not even like a huge... Nihon wa ii desu yo ne? I speak Japanese, okay? So, it's some real fucked up shit, okay?
Okay, can you tell... do you drive a lot? Do you drive a lot?
Bike.
You ride a bike? Okay, do you think that the average poor person that can drive could afford like $4 to $4.50 a gallon?
Drive, if they were poor, they wouldn't be able to drive, like me.
What do you mean? What do you mean if they're...
If you're poor, you can't afford a car.
You drive to work, dog. You have to have a car.
I don't. I bike to work.
Okay, that's great that you live in a place where you could bike to work, but not every place is like that.
I cannot afford a car.
Okay, not every place is like that, okay? In a lot of places, you need a car to survive. You need a car to transport your children. You need a car to get to and from work. Okay?
So you're destroying the environment.
I'm not... when you're poor, you don't give a fuck about the environment, okay?
Sorry. If you're going to be a leftist, I have to call you out on your shit.
Call me out on what shit?
Like, just this. I'm being a fucking troll guy. I'm sorry. But
all right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, should we tariff the fuck to protect our fracking industry? Should we tariff the fuck out of all gas and make it so that you have to pay $4.50 a gallon for gas to make our industries competitive? Like, how do you think how would that impact poorer people in the United States who spend a disproportionate amount of their income on gas? Those kinds of things would be catastrophic, right?
All right. So you think instead of just being friends with a bunch of countries that rape women and view that stoning gays and throwing them off buildings?
Oh, dog, it wasn't that long ago when we were kind of killing gays, dog. If you go on Wikipedia and you look up LGBT crimes in the United States, we got quite a few of our own, dog.
Oh, we don't do it now.
I'm pretty sure there's still a lot of fucking gay hate crime and shit that happens in the United States.
I'm gay, you motherfucker.
What?
So please do not.
You're gay?
I'm bisexual.
And you're trying to tell me that hate crimes against LGBT people don't happen in the United States? Are you fucking serious? Are you delusional?
They do.
So then why are you trying to tell me that they don't happen in the United States?
Did I say that ever?
Yeah, do you want to go back to the VOD? I'm pretty sure you were saying, why are we versus all these countries that rape and blah, blah, blah gay people? And then I said, well, the United States does it too. And then you said, not anymore. You said that. Those were your exact words.
I was in I went to an arts high school, and I was in a production of, what's that play? The
I know, where everyone has AIDS.
Where he...
No, I'm sorry, that sounded bad. There was a really popular one when I was in high school, and it revolves around a lot of the people have HIV. Oh, fuck.
School, probably half the people I went to school with were gay.
Sure.
It was that poor man...
Wait, what? Half the people you went to school with were gay?
Yeah. I went to an art school. I went to Baltimore School of the Arts. And there was that poor man...
Oh, Rent. Rent was the play I was thinking of. Sorry, Rent was the play I was thinking of.
Tied to a stake and hung up. It's not Rent. I can't remember what it's called.
Okay.
But he was tied to a fence and left over the course of days after being beat. So yeah, I'm doxing myself, whatever. Anyway, so no, here's.
I'm sorry. Well, so I don't know. The point you said we want to be friends with these countries that do horrible things to people. I think there's a lot of people. Obviously, some countries are worse than others.
Hey,
I don't deny that.
Listen to me.
Okay.
Help me. In Saudi Arabia and in many Muslim countries, do you know what they do with gay people?
Probably stone them, kill them.
Throw them off of a roof.
Okay.
Okay? What do we do with gay people here?
In the most part, I would say that the United States is a little bit better to alternative lifestyles than Saudi Arabia.
Last time a gay person was thrown off of a roof.
I don't know. I don't know what this serves to list this one hyper-specific example.
It's not. No. You can't get out of it like that. Like, you asked me for hyper-specific examples.
No. I didn't. You just said that gay. You said that you said there was no more violence against gay people in the United States, and I said that that's simply not true.
Not say that. Holy shit! There is violence against gay people.
Okay.
I know because I've seen it.
Okay, but we just don't throw them off roofs.
There is. Oh. Well, I mean, that's a really simple thing, right? I mean, well, we just don't throw them off roofs. It could be.
I don't understand what the point. I don't understand what the point is of this.
I don't really understand either. You're trying to act like the U.S. is so horrible and such like a horrible country.
No. This is a very important distinction.
Not.
I think that the United States is better than a lot of other countries, but I don't think that it serves anybody to be so insanely self-absorbed, to be so nationalistic, to turn a blind eye to everything your country does wrong. It's another common trend that I hear a lot of Trump will say, and it's why I called you on it, because when Trump will say shit like, well, everybody loves all the black people in the United States, and there's no hate crimes, and there's no racism, and there's no misogyny, and there's no, people discriminating against gays. That doesn't happen in the United States. When I hear somebody like you say that, I have to tell you how fucking stupid that is.
Do you believe in racism towards white people?
Not really, no.
Well, I've been racially discriminated against because I grew up in Baltimore, which is a city which
I know all
80%
about Baltimore.
black.
I watched all 5 seasons of The Wire, dog. Don't worry, dude.
Fuck! Oh my god, that's the most thing that triggers me. Fuck off.
I know.
The Wire is not. I have never seen it, but fuck off.
You should watch it, dude.
Holy
It's good TV, dude. It's some good shit.
And that makes you think that white people can't be discriminated against?
No. That's no. White people, plenty.
No, because you watch The Wire. No, that's what I'm hearing here. Because you watch The Wire, that means you can't be discriminated against as a white person.
I think that there are probably some.
I would like to tell you, as a white person who went to middle school and high school with 80% black people, that you can be discriminated against for being white.
Okay.
This is the problem. Fucking white people who believe that there's no such thing as discrimination against white people have never interacted in societies where they are the minority.
Okay, I have. I've been to places. Okay.
Where and when?
I went to Korea for 3 weeks.
Triggered.
I think I was a minority there.
No. Okay, first of all, yes, Korea can be very racist against white people, and you don't think you were discriminated against white people in Korea?
No, sure. Discrimination can occur to white people. Sure, it definitely does happen. But to pretend that discrimination against white people exists on anywhere near the same scale as discrimination against other minority types is a little bit silly. And like, no offense, like I don't know much about you, but when I hear somebody who had the opportunity to get a PhD by the time you're 26 talk up to me about all the difficulties of the discrimination you've experienced, like
I am considered behind the gap.
to have a PhD at 26?
Yes.
Okay, I don't.
Like, I'm embarrassed by my age.
Okay, maybe that's a white person thing.
Oh, of course, it's a white person thing. So, I mean, I know the whole thing's like, oh, many of my friends are black. Well, yes, many of my friends are black. And my entire life growing up, many of my friends were black. And are black still. But the fact that white people can't... They can't imagine that there's such a thing as racism towards white people.
There is to some extent, but the problem is... Here's the. Can I explain why minorities laugh at white people when they say shit like that? Okay, can I explain? It's because you'll have a white person that grows up middle class, that goes to good schools, good middle school, good high school. They've got a mom and dad that drive them around in a SUV to all their sports events. Then they go to college, and their college is completely paid for by mommy and daddy. And then they go to apply for a job, and then they find out that they lost out on a job app because a black person got the job over them. And then they start talking about how they feel discriminated against. Okay, these are the kinds of stories that are constantly told. told. This is why people laugh at people that talk about reverse racism, because at one point in your life, you can pinpoint this one time when I think I lost out on here because I'm fucking white. And you know what? It's probably true. And personally, I don't think that that's a good thing. I don't approve of it, but it probably happens. But when you have people that are white people that are crying and complaining because at one time they might have gotten reverse discriminated against and discrimination against whites and the destruction of white culture, this is why people laugh at white people that make these kinds of claims, right?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you my little life story then, since you said that.
Why anecdotal? Why does it matter? Okay.
Well, you just gave me an anecdote.
Okay.
So why shouldn't I give you?
I'm just giving you like a generic example. I argue with dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens. Okay,
that's
all right.
an
Sure. I mean, we could go. Okay. We could compare like the average plight of the socioeconomic status of the white person to the black person in the United States.
You're gonna use anecdotal
I am
evidence.
voting for Hillary just because of this lady.
So, I grew up in Fairmont, West Virginia. So I grew up in West Virginia, and then my mother divorced my father and moved to Baltimore. And she was a single mother. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment for my entire life in the ghetto. Okay? I went to public schools my entire life until my private school is not private. It's actually a public school, but it's a public art school in Baltimore. And I have lived my entire life under the poverty line. Okay? And I worked my fucking way from that. And you say ghetto, okay? Little nerds don't understand what ghetto is. It's called the projects. I can fucking point to a map in Baltimore where I lived. I lived in what is considered the projects. Oh, public schools. Oh, no. Guess what? Yes. You try going to public schools in Baltimore, downtown Baltimore City. I do have PTSD from bullying. Oh, great. People have doxed me. Anyway, so that's great. So I went through all that shit, and I still ended up where I am today. But it's great that your fans doxed me.
So, what am I supposed to say to that?
I don't know. You're saying that, like, no white people can have a bad time.
I've never said that. I'm just saying that, let me reiterate the exact same thing I'm saying. I'm saying that white people don't experience the day-to-day difficulties that other minority classes in the United States generally experience, is what I was saying.
Okay, so my experience doesn't matter.
No, one-offs usually don't. No, it doesn't.
Okay, so... All right, so I don't matter then. I'm still...
Your one-off experience when talking about an entire group of people...
White person?
No. Your one-off experience when talking about a group of people, correct, absolutely does not matter. Much the same way that I wouldn't go into any blue-collar factory and tell everybody, hey, quit your jobs, maybe you can make a living streaming. Well, let me tell you my life story. I did it. Why can't you guys do it? Now, do I not matter? I can't go and tell people that? You would say, no, of course not. Because a one-off example like that doesn't matter when you're talking about an entire group of people.
What I'm asking is, do you think I'm privileged because I am white despite my background?
I don't know anything about you personally.
I just told you.
I don't know. I don't even know how much of it is true. You could be a compulsive liar for all I know. But it doesn't matter.
Just the point where I'm getting doxed.
Okay, listen. What I'm telling you is your individual experiences don't matter. As a whole, white people tend to have it much better than other groups in the United States, is all I'm saying. I don't think anybody can disagree with that. Do you want to look up, like, average income and average, like, prison time and...
I mean, okay, so why? Oh, that's an interesting question. Okay, hang on. Okay. Oh, I'm doxing myself for giving really generic things about my life. Okay. You won't find any information about me on the internet unless you're specifically looking for it. Your fucking fans are gonna try to get me fired from my job, which is great.
My fans, I have my whole chat in sub mode, dog. Oh, I'll even turn my Twitch chat into sub mode.
Okay. Okay, listen. So, what was I even going with this? Now I'm fucking lost.
We were talking about your individual example being representative of a larger group of people. And I was saying, okay.
Yes. Okay, so, like, look, it's really not, it's not fair to act like fucking, because I'm white, I'm somehow advantaged. But here's the thing, like, you can say, like, oh, well, you're a special situation. But you know how that gets looked at on the large, at the macro, right?
But the macro is what I'm talking about, but...
And how, but you understand how that disadvantages the micro.
No?
You don't understand how
that when large groups of people experience
if you look at everyone as an aggregate and you apply rules and laws to them as an aggregate, that doesn't potentially disadvantage the micro.
Hold on. Let me just see if I can get you to agree with this statement, okay? Can you tell me that you agree that white people face more or less the same day-to-day difficulties tied in with their status of being white as minorities do, whether it's women or black people or Hispanics, that they experience the same level of difficulty tied into their ethnicity? Can you tell me that?
Oh, yes, definitely. I think that's absolutely true.
So you think that white people experience... If you agree with this, then we can just move on because we're never going to agree.
I think there are very, very, very few differences. I think that in some cases, minorities are given preference. I think in some cases, if not most cases, women are given preferences, at least in terms of job selection. And I say that as a woman. We are given preference.
Why are women so underrepresented in so many technology-related fields?
Because we don't want to be there.
Why do you think they don't want to be there?
Because they don't. What's wrong with that?
What do you mean? Because they don't? Because why?
Why are you shaming women for not wanting to?
I'm not shaming women. You're the one that told me that you have an undergrad in psychology, so you should be able to very explicitly tell me why the nurture aspect of a person's personality has no impact on what they want to do growing up. I'm waiting for the explanation.
Exactly, because the very hard sciences do not always appeal to women. Women tend to be more personal based. Women tend to be more intersocial based, okay? They tend to be more interpersonal based. We don't really necessarily always want to go into hard sciences. Okay? And that's fine. And in fact, generally, women do not want to be in hard sciences.
Because women are, do you think women are kind of dumber on average, and that's why it's a little bit harder for them to get, like, the math and...
Don't fuck with me like this.
Why?
No.
No, you just said it. I mean, I kind of agree. I think that women in general are, like, a little bit more stupid.
It has to do entirely with desire.
Okay. And women don't desire to do things like engineering or anything in general. Women are just kind of...
Women and men are different. How come we can't understand this?
Because we're having problems identifying the level of actual difference that exists. Because people like you are trying to attribute everything to nature when a large amount of it probably has to do with nurture.
Oh my God. Okay. I wish that I had some more data in my particular field.
I can give you data if you want. Did you know that the gap between women and men pursuing computer science was actually closing until computers became available to people at home and families started to buy computers for their little children to play with, but they only bought them for boys? I can give you tons of articles. I don't know why you didn't study these when you were going through your undergrad, but I can find tons of articles about how nurture influences gender roles. Do you want to go into it, or?
Okay, so I'm gonna be real honest here. I don't have the research in front of me. Of course, that means you're wrong. But I can say this as someone with a PhD, that I have done extreme amounts of research on this. And what we generally find is there's very, very little sex differences between people in terms of what men do and what women do. There are big gender differences in between what men do and women do. So this is like where the trans thing comes into it. I'm going to get...
Hold on, wait a second. Ignoring all of this, so you are telling me that you know of research that makes very strong causal links between a person's gender, not their nurture or upbringing, a person's gender that makes them predisposed towards preferring certain fields?
Not towards certain fields. I don't know that research, but I do know, at least in our field and in my own personal research, there is a big difference between gender and selection of different things.
How can you have a PhD and say these things that are so stupid? This is really bothering me, okay? So you acknowledge you're living, listen to me. You live in a culture where people are brought up a certain way, okay? And have all of these confounding influences and all of these things growing up. And then you're telling me that at the end, that product that exists at the end is choosing with no kind of bias what fields they would like to do. You sound completely uneducated when you say that. You must understand that, right? Like,
no, I really don't. You have to understand, like, I think you're not getting it. Do you understand the difference between sex and gender?
Yes.
What's the difference between sex and gender?
Sex is the organism, or the fucking organs, the sex organs that you're given, and gender is whatever gender you identify with, male or female, or if you believe in the, there was some scale where there isn't male or female, but it exists on some sliding thing or whatever. I understand the difference between sex and gender. I have plenty of transgendered friends, and I understand all the fucking terminology and shit.
All right, so given that, so what you think is that, so given your understanding of this, if that's correct, and all this gender stuff, these job things are just social constructs, wouldn't all trans women want to be like teachers and nurses?
I don't, honestly, dog, and I'm the most, listen, I'm the most social justice warrior fucking person on this streaming website, okay, on Twitch, okay? I don't even know how much I buy into the transgenderism thing, okay? I'm very respectful.
Transgender?
What?
Well, one of my best friends is transgender, and she is an environmental engineer.
Oh, well, fuck, you solved it, dude. That's it, then. You have the one transgendered friend, and they're an environmental engineer.
In your comprehension of transgender.
No, you got it, dude. You should publish that. There are like so many journals that would love to hear about your one friend who went into that field.
What are you talking about?
You got it, dude.
Dude. Oh my god. Okay. You're very simplistic.
I'm not simplistic. You're the one who's reducing a very complicated thing to a very, very simplistic one-way kind of thing of looking at it. What you're doing is you're taking a guy who's had his legs beaten on by fucking baseball bats for 10 years, and then you're running him in a race and going, wow, well, that guy just happens to be slow. That's what you're doing. It's incredibly simplistic. You take a woman that's grown up in a society where men are pushed towards video games, men are pushed towards math, science, technology, and engineering, men are pushed towards all of these more manly fields, and women are pushed in another direction, and then at the very end, you're saying, well, look, men just choose to do these fields more than women do. Come on, dog, it's obvious. Like,
you take an infant baby, and this is real science. You take an infant baby. Infant males are more attracted towards mechanical constructs, and female babies are more attracted towards physical faces.
Okay, that's true, and I know the study that you're talking about because I read that, so I know you're not making that up. However, there's a lot of things that we are quote-unquote naturally inclined to that we don't embrace. Men are probably naturally inclined to rape people or to murder people or to steal things.
I'm to rape? Oh my...
Wait, I'm just saying that the argument that, well, this is something that naturally happens isn't like the best supporting argument for doing something. Clothes are pretty unnatural too. Like, but I mean, we still wear those every day because we live in a society, right?
Useless PhD of which she said.
I don't understand the thing about clothes. I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay, let me back this up. You're making the argument that because in an infant stage, one sex might prefer, or one gender might prefer something over another gender, we should constantly push them in that direction for the rest of their lives because that's what they prefer as an infant. What I'm saying is that we do plenty of things naturally that as a society we've weeded them out because they're not beneficial to society. That's the argument. Does that make sense?
I guess.
Okay.
I don't think that the whole idea of gender roles are real, but they have developed after a very long period of human culture and society. And does that mean all of them are right? No, but it doesn't mean shit like men are rapists.
Well, I didn't say...
You kind of did say that, homie.
I said that we have natural tendencies that we override because we live in a society. We do things like take care of sick people. We do things like we don't beat up people that are weaker than us. We don't steal shit. We don't rape people. We don't murder people. The rape is just one thing. You could throw that out if you want. Any other natural, violent, aggressive inclination that a human has, we tend to try to get rid of that in society. That's why we have laws and prisons and punishment systems and all that shit, right?
Okay. Whatever. So no, I disagree completely. I don't think that there's any such thing as normative. I do think there's such a thing as normative gender roles, but I don't believe that. I think there's such. Okay. Oh,
listen, we can find middle ground. I think that if every single thing were held equal, I do think that you would see an uneven distribution of men and women in certain fields. I don't disagree with that at all. However...
Oh, why? Maybe it's just because women don't want to do those things.
Okay, but when you
understand the extent to which women have been forced into STEM over the last...
But when you say things like women don't want to do something, there are reasons why everything that you want or don't want to do comes from something. Those impulses don't just spontaneously...
Scientist, why I don't want to do science.
No, what I'm asking you is why you don't understand where motivation comes from. People don't randomly, spontaneously generate these desires at an arbitrary age. These are fostered from a young age. Like,
no. I cannot more heavily disagree.
With what? Wait, nothing that I just said there was disagreeable. What do you disagree with?
Because I have been encouraged since I was a child to go into STEM. I have been encouraged by every teacher. I have been encouraged by every professor to go into STEM, and I still chose to go into media psych, which is a soft science, quote unquote. Okay? I still use statistics. All of my research is statistical data. Okay? Oh, so now it's an anecdote when it proves you're wrong, right? But
No, anecdotes are always anecdotes, dog.
no, your chat saying that like it doesn't mean anything because it's an anecdote.
Because it doesn't. You're a one-off example.
Oh, I'm the only person ever. So okay, so, wow, she uses only her personal examples. But here's the thing, like, sometimes you need to listen to people. Liberals, in my experience, they listen to fake statistics, not real statistics.
What fake statistics? What are you talking about?
A rape statistic?
What rape? What are we even? I'm not talking about rape.
Or I know you're not, but I'm saying like liberals listen to fake statistics like 1 in 4 and be like, oh, look at this horrible rape epidemic. How awful is it?
I think the sexual assault figures are overblown. The 1 in 6 statistic came from like 2 colleges. It was a bullshit fucking stat. I don't disagree with any of that. But right now we're talking about the differences.
It would.
I'm not a lib. Trust me. Okay, I am not a lib. Okay. So. But we're talking about the impact that nature versus nurture has on people. This is a very well-researched field of psychology, okay? This is not like, we're not talking about some new age shit. The nature versus nurture argument.
Pull out a book or a piece of research from right over here next to me right now. That would be like, oh my god, this nature versus nurture shit is such trash. It's...
What?
The nature versus nurture shit, yes, it's a thing. But the fact of the matter is that... Okay, do you understand how you can control for variables in a statistical test?
Yeah, in what particular statistical test? I understand what a control and a variable is, if that's what you're asking.
Like a log logistical test.
I don't know what that term means.
Okay, so you can control for variables in most statistical research.
Okay.
Including, like, sex and gender, which, by the way, we analyze as separate variables.
Okay.
And generally speaking, now here's the problem, is that laymen, and I do sometimes hate using that term because it makes people upset, laymen don't understand how to read statistical data and outputs, okay?
I understand that. That kind of sounds like you right now, but okay, continue on.
Oh, whoa, I'm a layman?
Yes, you're sounding like it because you're trying to give me causal links that are very hard to establish in any soft science.
I would never give a causal link, you fucking monster.
That's what you're telling me. You're telling me that we've done the research that determines that gender determines what field you want to go in. You're the one telling me that.
Cannot determine causal links. We can only determine correlational links, and we can determine temporal-based links.
Okay, cool. So if you see it, that's awesome. I'm glad we agree on that. That's cool because I remember learning that in school and you learned that in school. So if we see that a large amount of men prefer something and a large amount of women prefer something, because we're both relatively educated, you much more than I, but we both understand that you then cannot make the statement that maybe men just prefer X because that is a causal statement, right? You're trying to say that the reason why men choose X is because they are men. That is a causal link. Instead of saying, well, men prefer...
Okay, no, baby cake. You're a little confused.
Okay,
right, so
okay, unconfuse me.
I'm sorry. Let me retract that. I'm really not trying to be diminutive.
Sure.
But we cannot normally form causal relationships in social science. What we can form are temporally based correlational relationships. Okay.
Okay.
So I can say that this happened, then that happened. Okay. And now I tell this to every single one of my freshmen, is that, do you want to know? Here's an interesting thing. I have 2 really cool examples that I tell my freshmen, which is it's really interesting to know that there is, of course, a correlational relationship between violence and ice cream sales. Now, why is that? It's because when it's hot, people
commit
do
more crime than when it's cold. Sure, I'm aware. I know this example. Yeah.
The university that I work at, which I won't name, but it was named as one of the biggest party schools in the United States, and they basically said like, oh, come down to the student union to determine to talk to the students, and it was, I think, Rolling Stone, I guess, and they came down and they stood in front of the student union, which is right in front of where all of the liberal arts colleges are. And they took a sample, and all of the students said like, "Yeah, woo, spring break, woo!" And yeah, so they all kind of just said that it was like the biggest party school ever, and then that got the school the notoriety of being the biggest party school, and the purpose of which is that that's a bad sample. So my whole purpose here is these are the two things I teach my students is like, one, fuck off. One, you have to be good about your sample size. You have to be good about who your sample is. And then two, what was my other point? Shit, I lost my place. Because your chat is fucking with me because I found my university. Shit. Okay, whatever. Now I'm giving up because now I'm upset. I shouldn't have given my advice. Yeah, sorry. I fucked this whole fucking speech up. Yeah, your whole chat's gonna try to get me fired. I knew this.
Listen.
I shouldn't have done this.
So, like I'm not entirely sure what the point of that entire story was.
But then I got disturbed.
I guess like, so again, let me say that I present to you a study that if I randomly sample accurate cross-section of American society of 5,000 men.
Accurate cross-section.
Yeah, accurate. Yeah.
Because the whole problem that I'm finding too with the Democrats is that they are taking very, very targeted samples.
Okay, I'm not talking about targeted samples, okay? I'm saying that, let's say, I'm just using one example. I'm talking about the Democrats or the liberals, okay? We're talking about science right now, okay? If I were to take a sample of 10,000 people, 5,000 men and 5,000 women, and I were to find that men prefer X field and women prefer Y field, you agree that that study doesn't tell you anything, right? It gives you something to look into, but you can't make any accurate determinations about anything just from that study, right? Other than men prefer this, we don't know why, and women prefer this, but we don't know why. Do you understand that, right?
Here's what our research indicates, okay? The research that I've done and the research that my field has done is that the idea of sex has nothing to do with that.
Okay, first of all, you keep bringing up sex and gender. The amount of transgender people in America is like less than 1%, isn't it? So I don't think this is like a really big deal that you have all these people that are of a different gender than they have sexual organs, right?
But I'm telling you, when we conduct this research, and usually it's given, so choose your sex, choose your gender, in terms of a Likert scale, Likert type piece of research, you know, and or a poll. And we find that when people select their own gender, despite the fact that they're only 1%, their sex matters less than their gender. And I know that this is like a fucking poll-tard here telling you like,
you're
hey,
like, but you're in such crazy confirmation. Like, this bias is like unbelievable. This is a worthless study. Let's say that you get a woman, like, this is just one possible of millions of explanations. Let's say that you get a woman who all of her life she grew up working on cars and she works on cars and she likes doing that, blah, blah, blah. And then she's given a test, and maybe because she feels like a super tomboy, maybe she writes that I feel more like a man than a woman because of the manly things that she's into. That gives somebody like you ammunition to go, well, look, women that identify as men on their gender thing, look, they say they prefer manly things, so therefore it supports my thing, right? You understand that a test like that is vulnerable to so many different things that you can't...
I'm sorry, ammunition, do you think that I do this to like...
Okay, ammunition or points to prove your point or whatever, facts to prove your point. Whatever. I'm just saying that, like, you're giving me these extreme things and trying to say that they're proving these extremely, like, overwhelming generalizations when that's not how it works.
Social science doesn't prove anything. Social science,
but it's trying to draw very, very strong relationships or to give you an idea that something is a likely cause or like... What?
You have to understand that my field is 100% on your side. The reason I'm so worried about being doxxed is because I will lose my job. I will lose my position. I will lose any ability to ever work in the field again if I am outed as a right-wing person. Do you understand that?
Then why even say that where you were from? Yeah,
Well,
I mean, we can end if we want to end the conversation, we can. If it makes you more comfortable, I'm okay with that.
It's really make me. I mean, it's already out there. Whatever. Like people are already gonna. I knew this going in here that I was gonna be doxxed. So it's like whatever. I'm also taking sabbatical this semester, so like whatever. But hopefully everyone will forget about it. Yeah, but no. Like, why is it? I don't know, why is it like if you're a liberal and you could have the most extreme liberal position, like all whites are racist?
Never had that position before.
Like, why can you have those positions?
I don't believe that all white people are racist.
As a person in my life, do you understand what I'm saying? Why could you have those positions and be fine, and then I hold, like, Make America Great Again, and then I'll get fired? Do you understand? You're
posting the best, like, hyperbolic things on both sides and then asking me a question. I mean, well, how do you want me to respond, dog?
I mean, you've asked me some pretty hyperbolic shit. So I'm asking
like what? What unfair hyperbolic things do you think I've asked you?
You asked me, like, some shit about, like, racism. And like, I mean, come on. Like, okay. Whatever. Make America Great Again. I don't know, but like I can't say that. I can't wear that hat. Like if I put okay, here's a question. If I put a Make America Great Again or Trump Pence sign in my window, I would be worried about getting people fucking throwing rocks at it and shit.
Are you looking for me to defend people that use violence to support their political opinions? Because I'm not going to. I have no desire to do that. I don't think.
You support that?
No, I don't support. What? First of all, I'm not a Hillary supporter. I just really don't like Trump. Secondly,
Trump.
What? I don't support any type of violence to further your political opinion.
Okay, let's move on then. What topic have we not covered that you support Trump for?
I think you were telling me what you support Trump.
Trump for, I mean. Excuse me.
What do you? What I don't even know. So what thing did we have what was the one thing you listed that we support Trump on?
I have an interesting sort of opinion. How do you feel about teachers? How do you feel like they should get paid? How do you feel like that shit should go down in terms of education in the United States?
I think education in the United States is really bad right now. I don't know what the solution is. It's a really complicated thing. It seems to me that teachers in general are pretty underpaid. I don't know what the solution to that is. It doesn't.
How should we teach people? How should we teach students?
I don't know. There's a lot of like PhD level analysis on education. I don't know I don't know. I don't have a good answer there.
I ask a question. It's like, I don't know, and that's fine with your viewers, but I ask a question, or you ask me a question, and it's like, hang this bitch.
Do you understand why? It's because if you ask me a question that I don't know the answer to, I don't pretend to know the answer. That's why I don't get crucified for it.
Pretty frequently pretending to not know the answer to some of the shit you've asked me about.
What is one question that I've asked that you've admitted to not having an answer to, rather than being able to provide an anecdote to back up?
Oh, provide my anecdote doesn't mean shit.
Then why are you providing them as a basis for an argument?
Because you're asking me about questions. So how else do you want me to fucking answer?
You could answer like I do and say, I don't really know. I don't have an answer for that.
I mean, sometimes I do have an answer, but like you don't like my anecdote either.
Because the anecdote is irrelevant when we're talking about classes in the United States.
How come it's okay, so here's a real question. How come it's irrelevant when we're talking about class when it has to do with a white person who is lower class? But when it has to do with a black person who is lower class, that's great. We can totally have that conversation. I'm really asking this question. How come it's great when a black person wants to have a conversation about class, but when a white person who grew up
Is there like a third person in here that I don't, because I have no idea who the fuck you're arguing with right now. I have never made either of those two statements.
I'm just asking, how come it's okay for a black person to have an argument about class, but if a white person decides to have an argument about their own class, then it's bad and racist?
I don't know. Whoever said that statement got me. I mean, I don't support those positions. I think those positions are untenable.
Okay, so, but wait. But you think I'm privileged, because I'm white.
I think that white people in general are privileged. Maybe you particularly weren't, but I think that in general, white people have it a little bit better than black people or Hispanics in the United States.
Kind of get just so if you're going to suggest legislature, it would have to be a general, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you would have to talk about like general statistics if you were introducing legislature. I'm sorry, in order to affect the entire country. Sure, yeah, it would have to be general.
So wouldn't that affect me as an impoverished white person? That I would be sort of lumped in with the incredibly like privileged white people?
I don't. Are you being serious?
No, I actually am, because I want to know how liberals feel about that.
I'm not a liberal, okay? I'm just not an idiot. So you're
to know
asking
how
me, what you're saying is, I am part of a group, and because these widespread things apply to my group, but I'm the outsider, because I'm the statistical deviant, that entire everything should cater exactly to me. That's the statement that you're making. What?
How do you think you call us Trumpkins? How do you think we feel? I don't agree with absolutely everything Trump says. And yet, it's okay.
What do we? Wait. We're not talking about Trumples or anything. Like, we're talking about. We were talking about making legislation that would impact large groups of people, and you're trying to say that random one-offs should have a dramatic impact on how you view an entire class of people.
Dude, and Hillary fans want to make white people a second-class citizens.
What? How? Just tell me how. I don't know where we're at now. Tell me how.
We're incapable of racism. We should be placed absolutely last on the list of people who get hired. We're evil and racist, all of us, absolutely all of us. We're the devil. I mean, like, have you paid any fucking attention?
I've paid very close attention to this entire election, and I haven't heard her say anything remotely resembling that. I promise you I've watched more hours of Trump and Hillary and both debates. What?
Have you paid the average SAW?
SAW? What? SJW?
Yeah, have you paid any attention to how they feel about white people?
Not an SJW. Do you think I'm an SJW?
I'm not. I don't know who the fuck you are, man.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, everyone I know who's a Hillary supporter thinks white people are evil.
That's cool. Well, I don't think that white people are evil. I am a white people. Okay.
Including all the white people I know who are Hillary supporters think white people are the devil. And it's like...
I mean, based on the way that you sound, it seems to me like you would keep a lot of conservative friends, more so than liberal ones. I guess I could be wrong.
Okay, you're very wrong.
Okay. However, just because you have a lot of liberal friends, I guess, that think that white people are the devil doesn't necessarily mean that that's the prevailing thought in the United States. That sounds like a
average
what?
Liberal feel then, if you think you could speak a little bit more.
I don't think the average liberal thinks that, well, the white person is the devil.
Do you think white people are bad, though?
Not. What do you mean bad?
Are we responsible for all the ills in the world? For colonialism? I mean, we're obviously responsible for colonialism.
Yeah, for sure. Like colonialism. Yeah, sure. I think that we're...
Like, should we, like, die?
No, I don't want to die. I don't want my kid to die. I don't want any of my friends to die.
And just, you know... I don't know, man, but I know that most liberals really don't want... I mean, like, you have to look at...
You realize that what you think of as most liberals are the extremely, like, digested, like, distilled versions you get on poll, right? You know that that's not the average person. You know that you guys are way the fuck out there in, like, right field, like, completely in a different universe, right? That the average liberal doesn't think that all white people are evil and that Republicans are lizard people and all that shit. You know that's not the average person, right?
Joking. No, I understand that, but, I mean, you have to look at, like...
what do I need to look at?
Sweden. Look at Sweden.
What about Sweden? Why do we even care about Sweden?
Have you seen what's happened to Sweden?
What's happened to Sweden?
They have been completely overrun.
Completely overrun. In what specific ways have they been completely overrun?
Muslim immigrants.
In what way have they been completely overrun? Please tell me.
Do you not know anything about the rapes?
Oh, so now you want to talk about the rape statistics? Now the rape statistics are relevant to you? That's really funny. Because did you know that in Sweden...
God. You're incapable of separating things.
No. Actually, these are very closely tied together. Did you know that in Sweden, did you know that every single form of unwanted sexual whatever is reported as a rape? And that's the reason why the rape statistics are so fucking huge. It's funny that you aren't critical or skeptical of Sweden's rape statistics because that plays into your narrative of hating Muslims. But when it comes to the United States' rape statistics, you are very skeptical. I think that that's kind of funny. I thought that was kind of funny.
Just being raped, whereas in this country, a woman has sex with a man, and then 3 months later, she decides she's like,
yeah. Okay, I know. No, that's great. You're very, very, very skeptical of the rape stats in the United States, as you should be. But when rape stats are put in Sweden, and that plays into your narrative, all the skepticism is out the window.
You know what? Here we'll go. I'll do another anecdote. When I was in high school, I had a girl. Her name was I'm not gonna give her name, number one, and she raped a boy in my class named Trevor. Her name was Maria. She raped a boy in my class named Trevor. She got pregnant, and she fucking sued him for child support. Okay? So that's why I'm against this shit.
If it happened, I mean, dude, you should fucking publish that story. If it happened to your one friend, I mean, damn, dude, that sounds like we should change the entire way the entire world works because it happened to that one dude. Like,
we're acting like it doesn't happen. We're acting like it doesn't happen. We're the fact that fucking, here's the thing. We're acting like the fucking fact that women do not get fucking child custody in 90% of the cases. My mother was one of them. My mother is diagnosed as fucking crazy, okay? And she got child support over my father because she's a woman. And I got raised by a fucking crazy person because of that. And do you want to know what? It's not just me. It's basically everyone. It's 90 fucking percent.
90% of what?
Of divorces where the children end up with a mother.
So what does that mean?
You don't understand?
Maybe it's a good thing, because earlier you were telling me that women were drawn more towards certain things more because of their gender. Maybe in your world, women are just drawn towards child rearing, and that's why they go to the women more often than the men. Seems to me like you should support that, no? Are you trying to tell me now that when you determine which parent a child should go to, now the gender equality comes in? Now it needs to be a 50-50 split? Now all of a sudden it's really important that we achieve maximum fucking 50-50 equality amongst the two genders? But before, when we talked about preferential fields, that didn't matter at all. You kind of see how like your mind is full of inconsistencies. Only when it plays into your narrative do you not question anything. But anytime it goes against your narrative, you're ultra hyper skeptical about everything. Like, you don't see the problems here at all?
Motherfucker, you've never lived this shit. Not only that,
you have no idea what I've lived, honey, okay? You're 26-year-olds with a PhD. You're okay. You're doing okay. Please don't make any assumptions about my life, but both of our lives are irrelevant to this conversation, okay? So
here's the thing. Guess what? 90% of fucking custody battles are won by women.
Okay, so you think here that gender equality is important, that more men need to win these battles?
You are conflating two entirely disparate ideas.
Okay, let's take something more related. Do you think that it's wrong that when you control for expounding variables, do you think that it's wrong that, or confounding variables, do you think that it's wrong that black people in general are sentenced at higher prison times than white people, even when it's the same crime? Do you think that's wrong?
They commit more crime.
No, I'm talking about when you control for variables, the same crime, a black person is more likely to be, or what about the difference between like crack cocaine and powder cocaine? Do you think that all of that...
They commit more crime. They're more...
You got it, dude. You're impenetrable. You're an impenetrable fortress.
How?
I'm impressed. Because you're able to hold all of these contradictory thoughts in your head, despite your level of education, which is impressive, but you can't reconcile these different worlds that you have to visit in order to justify any of the things you say.
Here's the thing I want to point out. There's a book called The Political Brain. Is it that? Or The Political Mind? I always forget. I think it's Political Mind. So, yes, it is a cognitive scientist's guide. No, that's not it. That's not the brain or the book I was thinking about. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find this book. Yeah, Political Brain. It's the role of emotion in deciding the fate of the nation. So I'm going to tell you right now something that's really interesting, okay? So essentially, what the scientists found is the fact that partisans, such as yourself, and I guess myself...
I am not partisan. Not even close.
You don't think so?
No, I'm pro-life, and I lean pretty conservative on the economic side of things when I have the opportunity to. Yes, I am not partisan. I'm the last thing in the world you would ever call me as partisan. Okay?
What? Whoa. Okay, no. Why are you pro-life?
It's irrelevant, but keep going.
No, I need to go to the bathroom real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah, knock yourself out, okay? We'll wait.
Okay, well.
Do you see the conversation that we had this morning? This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about that feeds into my fucking egotistic bullshit. Like, holy shit. Why do you only debate retards? I pull from anywhere. I always give anybody an opportunity to come on if they want. I don't care who you are. I've had, like... Also, don't call people retarded in my fucking stream, okay? This person was nice enough to come on. To be fair, she's braver than 99% of the other fucking pull-tards that are too scared to come on, so I mean...
Hey, please tell me you're done. You have to stop being so fucking loud.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, so this book, which is really interesting, and if you don't consider yourself a partisan, that's cool. But the interesting thing about it is that it sort of indicates that. Am I too loud? Shoot. It sort of indicates that partisans can never be influenced on their positions.
Sure, I don't disagree with that. That's the whole argument I've been making at you this entire time.
Well, I'm a partisan. I've never voted Republican in my life.
Okay. But it sounds like you hold these positions that you believe very strongly in, and you're very susceptible to personal bias when evaluating the validity of these positions.
I'm not susceptible to data.
Okay. But when you do you understand how, like, if I bring up the problems with rape statistics in Sweden, you're very quick to brush that aside, but you're very critical of the rape statistics in the
rape statistics in Sweden?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Because you wanted to talk about how the Muslim invasion and the crimes and the rapes
Yes.
there. You're the one
extremely high.
Okay, and I brought up that the way that Sweden reports rapes is very different than the rest of the world.
Okay.
But
all right. But have you...
Okay, but that's not the only example. When I brought up black people being committed to more amounts of jail time for committing the same amounts for the same crime as a white person, you were very quick to dismiss that. When I talked about how when you brought up,
I get the feeling it's the same thing as the wage gap.
What do you mean? The wage gap exists? What about it? Shh, lower voice. You believe me. You and I agree on this, but I'll let you have your spiel. You don't think that the wage gap exists?
No, we talked about this. I don't think it exists because women choose different jobs.
Okay.
And women work less.
Awesome. So listen. We agree. A wage gap exists. And it exists because women choose different jobs and women work less. So we agree, right?
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that's what you meant.
I meant what I said. No, we agree. Okay. So now the next question that a scientist or a sociologist or a psychologist, maybe sociologist would ask is, why do women work less? Why do women choose different fields of work? That's where that line of question leads us to, right?
Well, women work less because they choose to have children. And now, is that an inequality? I would say yes.
Okay. Not. That's. I don't think it's just because of the children thing, though. I don't think it's just because of the children thing.
That's the main one, and it's because...
That's the main one? Do you have research that can link me to an exact statistical...
I do not. That is an opinion.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
And I would... No, I mean, I'm allowed to have opinions, too.
Okay. Well, my opinion is I don't think that they do. So
is leave for men. Is parent leave for men. No. We need more leave for men. I think we need more leave for women as well, because I believe it's insane the short amount of time that most women are allowed in this country.
Sure, and paternal leave and all of that are good things, right? Now, look. Look at what just happened, okay? I want to point this out because I'm very happy, okay? We just had a statistic, the wage gap, that even though we looked at it a little differently, we both agree that it exists. And now what you are presenting to me are solutions to that gap. Maybe men need a little bit more paternal leave. Maybe women need more paternal. Maybe there's a different way to balance that out, right? So that we can reach a better equilibrium between the two sexes, right? Look at that. That was a good...
I just do not think that it's a gap in the way that it is presented by feminists.
Sure. Listen, don't strawman me. I do agree that there are a lot of people that say stupid shit like women earn 78 cents on the dollar for a man or whatever. I think even Obama was quoted as saying that. And I do think that shit is stupid as fuck, okay? But I'm not here to back those statements up.
It's incorrect statistics.
Sure.
And that triggers me. But so yes, I would agree 100%. Outside of that, I really okay. So I don't know, what was the issue? Immigrants?
I felt that you are playing double standards to things that you disagree with. Was what we initially brought up. So I brought up your views of gender equality in two different areas, on rape statistics in two different areas, and on crimes in courtrooms in two different areas.
It's really not a double standard. It's that things have specific times where they are applicable.
Okay, and the times that are politically expedient.
It's not politically expedient. I'm an anarcho-communist, anarcho-capitalist.
Okay, but you're very anti-immigration of Muslims. I can tell that from our conversation.
Extremely anti. What it's not. Okay, here's the thing. I hate the fact that that's considered a racist thing, and that's exactly why I don't want anyone to find out who I am, because that's what will make me lose my job.
Okay, sure. I mean, I think I don't want to call you racist, but when the United States has huge problems.
Why is Islam being anti-Islam racist?
Because I don't know people that are like anti-Islam but love Mexicans or Hispanics. It's like
I love Mexicans and Hispanics.
Okay, well that's cool. Then maybe you're the odd one out. But I know, but like I personally, and I admit this is anecdotal, but I could also poll. I could give you polls for this data as well. That a lot of people that share the anti-immigration sentiments feel very similarly about Muslims and feels very very similarly about Mexicans, but don't feel the same way about people in Western Europe. So it's like a little bit strange sometimes when you have a bunch of people saying like, whoa, I'm not racist. I just hate Mexicans and I just hate Islamic people, and I just hate people in like Africa, and I think black people in the United States are fucked. But I'm not racist. None of those were racist. I'm not racist. I'm just against all of these different groups of people that happen to not be white. Like it gets a little bit hard for me to buy after a certain period in time.
Okay,
but
I don't like Christianity.
Cool.
I hate Islam. Islam is a medieval religion that encourages throwing gay people off of rooftops. It encourages.
I don't think all Muslims do that, but there are definitely
not all Muslims. It's like not all feminists. That's it. It is a complete excuse.
Okay, I don't think I want to get into the foreign country debate because I feel like it's going to turn into a huge shit show.
Yeah, I'm fine with whatever, but I really do not think that we should allow
any Muslims into the country.
Not all, but I mean, if they have ties to ISIS, just get the fuck out.
Do you think that we let people into this country with ties to ISIS?
We do.
Why? How?
Why do we let them in?
How do they get in with ties to the ISIS?
Do you understand that like Saudi Arabia and Qatar and all these countries just like are funding this shit? Okay,
but how do you think they just get in?
Because we're like okay with it.
We're okay with how? How would they make it past all of the checks that we do for people that come in?
Have you ever been through security on a plane?
Do you think that getting into the United States of America is the same as just going through security on an airplane?
Pretty much. I've left the country, so...
Because you're coming out of the United States of America. You realize there's a big difference.
Come back. You think I just left and never
Do you have a passport?
Yes.
So you have an official document backed by the United States of America saying that you're a legitimate citizen.
You know how easy it is to get it? You just wait 6 weeks.
Okay, so then if somebody has ties to ISIS but they're sneaking with a passport, then what do we do about that? What does that have to do with anything?
I don't fucking know.
You're saying we shouldn't let people into the country with ties to ISIS. The implication there is that we let people into the country with ties to ISIS. But now you're telling me they sneak in with illegitimate passports. So those are two different things. So then we don't let people into the country with ties to ISIS, right?
Pretty lax in it.
How are we lax? Can you tell me the process for a person coming over to the United States? Especially from like the refugee zone, can you tell me the screening that they have to go through?
Yeah, I'll tell you. You go to the airport and you show them your passport.
So there's no personal interviews with the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, and all of these other organizations, Homeland Security. None of these people vet your background or have multiple interviews conducted with you in person or have individuals that talk to you. None of that happens. That's all just like a big meme. People just show up at the airport and they get in.
It's never happened to me, to or from.
Because you are a United States citizen. You really don't understand the difference between being a United States citizen and being from...
How do you think, like, okay, so, like, look at the fact that, like, fucking, okay, so if you think it's so difficult.
It is.
Look at the fact that, like...
To legally get into the United States is very difficult. We have one of the most stringent processes in the world.
A bunch of immigrants, a bunch of Syrian immigrants got sent to Poland, right? So Polska Skilna, and
I'm talking about the United States. I'm not talking about Poland. I don't know how the fuck.
Listen to me. So a bunch of immigrants, of Syrian immigrants, got sent to Poland by mistake, and they got put in a not very fun, not very luxurious, building, and they didn't like it, so they wanted to go back to Greece so they could go to Germany where they could get a bunch of money.
Okay.
You understand, like, why this shit's bullshit.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. How does this relate to what I just said?
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's really easy, at least in the EU, to get around. And once
because the European Union all have agreements drawn up with each other to allow you to freely move from country to country.
You are in the EU and you have an EU passport, you can get into the US super easily.
Super easily, really. So you don't have to go through all of those organizations to vet you. Do you really? I guess, like, it's funny for me because I stream and I have an international audience, so, like, I hear from a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm sure my fucking channel's gonna be destroyed after this.
It is very difficult to legally, like, there are people that, even in my world of esports, even people that play games professionally have problems just getting a visa to come to the United States sometimes. Just to play games in front of millions of people can have difficulties proving that they deserve the visa to come into the United States. But you're telling me that somebody who's from the country of fucking Iraq or Palestine or Saudi Arabia can just super easily get an EU passport and then just dip into the United States? You really believe that?
Yeah, I do. Why not? You're
Why not? Because I can
give. Racist if you don't. You're racist if you don't. I mean, if you just don't allow everybody in, you're totally racist. You're super awful. You're a terrible racist.
You're strawmanning me again. I never said any of these things.
No, I know you didn't. I'm not saying you did. I'm saying that's what the fucking narrative is.
No, that's what the extremist narrative that you're presented on Poll says. Why? That's not reality.
I don't even use Poll that much. Like, hold on.
Do you read, like...
Do you really think someone who uses Poll, like, 24/7 would say things like gender and sexuality are disparate concepts?
No, probably not. But one of the things that we do as humans is if we have personal experience with something, we'll rationalize that away but still buy into another hate group. There were a lot of people, for example, in American history who were part of the KKK, hated black people through and through, but personally had black friends. And their excuse would be like, well, I know him personally. He's a cool dude.
That's not what I'm saying. Oh, my God. I'm not saying, oh, I had a black friend.
No. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying that, yeah, it's definitely possible for you to browse, like, extremist alt-right media, but still have personal views that slightly differ because of personal experience.
What's wrong with the alt-right?
They represent...
It means, what do you think it is?
For me personally, in, like, negative terms or in, like, objective terms?
In objective terms.
In objective terms, I think that alt-right people are very patriotic, extremely protective of the currently existing culture, and are extremely protective of the... current status quo of how things work in the United States. I also think they're very nostalgic in terms of how things used to be, although I'm not sure exactly what that means sometimes.
It's sort of like, okay, so here's the thing is that they're not supporting the status quo. They're actually supporting the opposite of the status quo because right now... I'm sorry,
when I said status quo, I meant like things like culturally, like white people, culture, position. I'm trying to say this in ways that aren't like really negative that'll trigger the fuck out of you.
No, is it really triggering me? I mean, I've gotten mad at some things you've said, but no, like, I'm not a white supremacist.
Okay, well then, this is what I actually think about in non-objective terms. I think that the alt-right people are incredibly nationalistic to a disgusting amount, to a toxic amount. I think that they're way too full of themselves in terms of what America is. I think that they are very blind to the crimes that America has committed and continues to commit sometimes overseas. They're incapable of seeing any fault with the United States. They give way too much credence to big business and think that every businessman is looking looking out for their best interests, which is stupid, and businessmen know it, but it's funny because the uneducated and unexperienced people don't know that. And I think that the majority of them are probably racist, or at least so hyper-nationalistic that people of a different skin color threaten them and their culture. That's what I think about people on the alt-right in general.
Okay, that's interesting. How come white people should be held responsible for the crimes of their ancestors?
What do you mean by held responsible?
That's what you basically said. You said they should be held responsible.
Never said that. No, I don't think I even said anything
Maybe
remotely
I
insinuating that. I do think
sorry,
that
but you
people...
said it like
Sure, okay. I think that America...
We did fucked up shit, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, of course. America has fucked up shit.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so then how come the Japanese shouldn't be held responsible for their fucked up shit? How come...
For what fucked up shit? You realize Japan got... You realize Japan got nuked twice, right?
Japan! Oh my god.
You realize Japan got nuked twice, right? Should we have dropped a third bomb on them? What do you mean, held accountable?
What, do you know what the rape
of Nanking? Yeah, I know that. You know they got nuked twice, right? What? How much more do you want to? We literally destroyed the country and went in and rebuilt it from the ground up. What else do you want us to do? What?
We rebuilt it. Okay, but why? Do you know it's the Japanese legislature is actually trying to make it illegal to talk about Japanese war crimes?
Is that true? Didn't the president of Japan just a few years ago go and for the first time formally apologize on behalf of Japan for some of the crimes that they had committed in different areas?
What? I mean, they were like, whoops, we're sorry. But no, they're trying to make it now illegal to talk about Japanese war crimes.
Well, I think that's bad. In Germany, they have similar things where it's illegal to even do like a...
completely illegal to talk about
Hitler. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. No, that's not true.
Oh
that's
my
not
god,
true. That's not true.
Are you wrong? Are you insane? Like, you can actually go to jail for the shit.
For being a Nazi, maybe? But for just...
Nazi, yes.
Yeah, okay, sure. But not for just talking about...
Your viewers hate the fact that this is reality.
What?
Your viewers really hate the fact they don't like reality. It's really funny. So yes, that's pretty hilarious. Oh, good. They want to attack me. That's great. Anyway, so it's only America that's responsible for things that happen to
Did I ever say it was only America's fault? I never said that. I don't care about other countries, though. I'm talking about the United States. Why do you keep deflecting?
Okay. So is it my fault, the fact that my family never owned slaves? Am I still a bad person for being white?
No, I never said that.
I'm just asking, because that's a real opinion that many...
That's a real opinion that some people have that you probably see posted on poll all the time, because the only opinions you get there are the super distilled opinions that they want you to see.
Do you know how I ended up in poll?
How?
I ended up in poll because I was on Tumblr in Action on Reddit, and I was like, oh shit. This is
okay, then replace, every time I say poll, replace it with the Donald then. It's the same community. What?
I've never used whatever that is. The Donald.
Okay. It's a subreddit on... Yeah.
But no, like, whatever. No, I started using poll because of how fucked up this shit is.
What shit is super fucked up?
People who hate democracy, people who just want to destroy anyone who disagrees with them. And that is why you have to understand, that is why the alt-right has come into such prominence, is because the left absolutely silences everyone.
Okay. I don't disagree. I think that liberals in general have a very toxic way of dealing with criticisms. I don't disagree with that. I don't think that Milo should be banned from giving speeches in school, even though I disagree with everything he says, and I think he's personally a piece of shit. But I do think that...
I actually don't agree with much of what Milo says, too.
Okay.
I think he's kind of a jerk.
Okay, but you're trying to attribute to me. I'm making a specific argument about something, and then your response to that has always been to back up a little bit and then attribute to me the most extreme opinions that you're presented to about people that share some of my points of view.
I know you think you've beaten me on some things. I really don't think you have. So I don't know. What topic is there that we haven't covered that you think you can beat me on? Or that you can beat me on? Doesn't matter if you can beat me, whatever.
I mean...
So we've covered immigration a little bit? I mean, we could still talk about immigration. We haven't really covered that completely. So what is your opinion on immigration?
I mean, as long as the people are properly vetted, I don't see a problem with immigration to the United States.
At all?
I mean, what do you mean by at all? I mean, obviously we can't let in 500 million immigrants, but I mean, I don't know. It seems like our immigration system right now is pretty broken and needs some kind of overhaul.
Agree. I'm not really.
Wait, but you don't. Well, you agree, but you think that it should be modeled in such a way that lets in far fewer Mexicans and far fewer Muslims. So I don't think that we're on the same page there.
I agree that. Okay, so my family are Welsh and German, and they came here via immigration, legal immigration. So I do not believe that the type of immigration that's getting. You have to understand, and to look at this from a realistic point of view, is the fact that there are people coming over from Mexico illegally and are basically getting all of the benefits of being an American citizen and getting hired and being able to make money without ever even trying to become an American citizen.
Sure, that's a problem. I agree that illegal immigration is a problem. Do you know how many illegal
You
immigrants
do?
we have in the United States right now?
Millions.
It's about 13 million is the current estimate. So yeah, illegal
Yeah.
immigration is definitely a problem in the United States. I don't disagree with
How
that.
can you believe that? Because, okay, so here's the thing. So, like, I recently been hearing libs say that they don't want any ability. They want to remove requiring IDs to vote. And to me, that just says we just want to allow illegals to vote. And that's fucking bullshit.
I would have to look at the specific arguments. I'm not sure it's possible.
I mean, do you think you should be able to vote without a US ID?
I don't know what other requirements they're asking for. I don't think you should be able to go into a thing and just state your name and vote. I think that's pretty stupid.
Yes, okay, thank you. So that's basically what I think.
What does
I
that
just
have to do with
don't-
immigration?
Because I don't want illegals to come in here and have abilities to give their opinions on our fucking legislature. If they haven't gone through, I mean, because it's obviously difficult. I mean, the people who were my, ancestors, they came through Ellis Island or whatever, and they fucking went through all the shit that's required to become American citizens. And that is not the way that most people become American citizens these days.
So what does that have to do with illegal immigrations?
Why should we allow it?
We shouldn't. I don't think anybody is in favor of
So should
illegal
we build a
immigration.
wall? I mean, personally, I think a physical wall will not work.
No,
obviously.
of course not. The majority of people that are in this country illegally are here because they overstay visas. The wall is something that's only supported by people that are uneducated and ignorant to the realities of illegal immigration, okay?
No, I agree 100%.
Okay, that's a pretty big selling point for Trump, though. You see that at his rallies, build the wall, but okay.
No, I see build the wall as a sort of talking point more than a actual point.
How much do I have to donate to
because-
step up to the...
Even if they built the best wall possible, and even if everything was perfect, illegal migrants could still either go under it, go over it, or break through it. So it's an absolute impossibility. I feel like the idea of build a wall is a philosophical sort of point of keep America isolated.
Awesome. So once again, we found something that Trump says, and because it's in reality stupid, you're calling it philosophical.
Yeah.
Okay. And like,
No. Okay, let's get down to the facts, okay?
Okay.
Straight up?
sure. The facts are that Trump has said that he wants to build a wall.
Trump has said a lot of really, really dumb things, okay? I think most of what Trump has said is dumb. But
Okay.
But I still love him.
Why? Why? You have a PhD. You're educated. Why do you love somebody that says stupid after stupid after stupid thing?
He's a meme king. And I hate Hillary so much. I hate Hillary so much. And I think that's not just me, but I think that many educated or non-educated people will like look at their two options and be like, holy shit, this is fucked up. I voted independent in 2008 and 2012. And I would vote for Jill Stein this year if it wasn't so close. But I have to vote for Trump because
Because he's the meme king.
He's the meme king, and I despise Hillary so much. We do have the best memes, and I believe at least a little bit in him.
But you can't. But everything he says is dumb. What do you believe in Trump? What do you think Trump will do? Can you name one good thing that you think Trump would do for America?
I think Trump will secure the borders. I think
How?
Trump will bring jobs back.
With destroying our relationships with Mexico, how do you think Trump will restore the borders?
He needs to destroy the relationship with Mexico because Mexico is a fucked up country.
You
It's
realize
full-
that why don't people illegally immigrate from Canada to the United States?
because they are maplebacks, and I'm sorry. Because
Canada's a fine place to live. Why would you need to risk illegal immigration if Canada's an awesome place to live? Mexico is a fucked up place to live. That's why people immigrate illegally from Mexico to the United States, and they risk the rapes and the murders and the thieveries and the scams to do it.
Really, I mean, I know that there's some fucking issues. Obviously, there's problems trying to get here. Obviously. But the problem is that they come here illegally when they can come here legally, and they choose not to.
You think that it's easy to legally immigrate from Mexico to the United States?
I've been to foreign countries.
As a United States citizen, you have never immigrated to the United States before. Why do you keep saying that you traveled to some place so you know what the immigration process is like? Immigrating is not just hopping on a plane.
No! I have looked into and begun the process to emigrate to Poland and Iceland.
Nobody gives a fuck about Poland. Nobody gives a fuck about Iceland. And
shit, motherfuckers, this guy doesn't give a fuck about Poland. Polska silna.
do you think that there are as many people trying to, well, maybe now with the Syrian refugee crisis, but before that, do you think there are as many people trying to illegally immigrate into fucking Poland as the United States of America from Mexico? Do you think that the surrounding countries in Western Europe, do you think people from Germany are fleeing en masse to get to Poland?
They should be. Poland's better than Germany. But Poland won't let them in because Poland's based.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, if your next door neighbor...
Understand. Listen to me. You talk about like where they're fucking going to.
Hold on, wait. Wait. Hold on, wait. I need to stop you because you've already said so many things.
Hang on. I'm gonna say this real quick. The quote-unquote Syrian refugees went to Poland and were treated kind of less than they were hoping, so they begged to go back to Greece so they could go to Germany because they wanted, 1, more money, 2, a better place to stay, and 3, just generally being treated better. And the Poles didn't do that for them, so they were like, "Fuck you, Poland," and that's why Poland is based.
Can we read a little bit about how difficult it is, the time span that it takes to immigrate from Mexico to the United States? Do you want me to read you a little bit, or?
Sure. Please.
Okay. So it lists the waiting lists, the immigrants' waiting list by country for people trying to get from Mexico to the United States. This
is legal, though.
What? Yeah, this is 1.3 million Mexicans are on a waiting list to get to the United States. The waiting list should not be confused with the processing backlogs, which represent the length of time it takes for USCIS to adjudicate each application or petition. The waiting lists occur because the demand for green cards exceeds the limits enacted by Congress to regulate the level of migration. The processing backlogs occur because USCIS has not effectively managed the huge volumes of applications from people seeking immigration benefits. For example, it has taken more than 16 months to process the applications for the wife and children of U.S. citizen Jimmy Gugliotta. There are no numerical limits for spouses and minor children of citizens, largely because the USCIS has diverted staff to processing deferred action and work permits for illegal aliens covered in the president's controversial executive actions. The waiting times in the family categories range from 19 months to 33 years. The waits in the employment category... What?
That's not realistic, though. I know that that's the estimate, but I don't think that's realistic.
Can you link me something? Stop. You have to link me something.
I'm wrong. I mean, I'm that's complete speculation. So, obviously, your statistics are completely correct, but I understand. Look, here's the thing that I understand is sad. Obviously, many people from Mexico want to come here because their country's kind of shit, for many reasons. And, get this, before you call me a racist, I think they should come here. Because this is the land of the fucking free. But I do want them to come here legally, and I know it's a pain in the ass.
Okay, I don't disagree with that, but you're the one that told...
My family did the same shit.
Okay, you told me that it was very easy to immigrate because you traveled to other countries.
I didn't say it was easy. I said that they need to immigrate instead of crossing the border illegally.
Okay, now let's look at this personally, okay? Let's look at this. Let's say that you have a family. Let's say that you live in a fucked up area of Mexico, okay? So
there are many. And here's the thing. legal Mexicans to come here.
Okay, so let's say that you live in parts of Mexico, okay, where everything is fucked up and your children are going to be fucked and your whole family is going to be fucked. And you as a parent, the one thing that you might be able to do for your children is save up enough money, $5,000, whatever the cost is, to pay for somebody to illegally immigrate your family to the United States, right? If you have the opportunity to do that versus sitting on a waiting list that's going to take you 10 to 20 years to move out, and you run the risk of losing your family or something beforehand, don't you think you would always probably go after that?
I understand why exactly, but I also don't think that okay, here's the thing. If they want to come here illegally, fine.
No, I don't think it's fine. Listen, I'm not trying to... No, hold on. Please. I'm not trying to say that we should be okay with illegal immigration. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is look at the way the world works. Look at reality. The reality is illegal immigration... Okay, stop. Because I'm backing up a lot, okay? The reason why people illegally immigrate from Mexico is very well understood, okay? And a wall isn't going to stop that. So how do we stop illegal immigration from Mexico? Canada is a good country. They're a strong country. Their government works. They're not ran by fucking cartels. Their people aren't living in poverty. Because Canada is a strong country, we don't have to deal with illegal immigration from there. So when you look at a country like Mexico, it seems like having a Mexico that is a strong, stable country that gets a lot of support from the United States and isn't ran by fucking cartels that cut up school buses full of children to make a point, that it would probably be a better, safer place that people wouldn't want to illegally immigrate from. When you talk about destroying relationships with Mexico, which is what Trump has tried to do, Trump has demonized NAFTA. He's demonized past Mexican presidents. He's said really rude things in general about Mexicans and about Americans that have Mexican parents. That doesn't seem to be conducive towards solving any problems of illegal immigration. If anything, it seems to exacerbate those problems.
Okay, so a couple of things. One, I do agree with you for the most part. First of all, you're never going to stop illegal immigration, even when we put up a fucking wall with that's electric and all that shit. It will not stop illegal immigration. That will always happen. What we should do instead is increase better trade with Mexico.
I understand you're kind of in the middle of things right now,
stop being
so
a fucking third world nation. Moreover, the problem is that if you're talking about starting a war with some people, you should know that Hillary literally wants to drop fucking nuclear bombs on Russia.
Do you have a link to Hillary saying anything like that ever?
I will get it really quick.
Okay.
She wants to start a nuclear war with Russia over her emails.
Sure, find me a link that says that she wants to start a nuclear.
She says okay.
I know what she said because I know. Do you want me to tell you what she said exactly? Hillary said that we should have some type of military action as a threat.
I'm thinking of.
No, Hillary said that there should be military repercussions or sanctioned repercussions for people launching cyber attacks against other countries. I know what you're thinking of.
Their emails, like, oh no, my emails were attacked. I'm gonna attack Putin.
You don't see the prop. Do you think that emails are the only thing that have been lost to cyber attacks? Do you really believe that?
I think that Hillary only cares because it was her email.
Okay. Are you aware that every single person who lives in the United States who had ever applied for a security clearance, like for the past 10 years, had their information leaked?
Hey, me!
Okay,
hey, me.
So that's you.
Me.
So China has all of your information, your PTSD, your medical information? Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Yes, I know. Yes, guess what? I have actually worked for a architecture engineering firm that worked with the government. I had to get security clearance. Also, my father is a higher up security person, and so yes, all of my
so then it's not just Hillary's emails that we're running into problems to. Okay, cyber attacks are a very real thing that lead to very real damage.
She only cares because her emails showed how much of a fucking crooked person she was.
Okay, you think she only cares because of that, because that fits your narrative.
I would rather. I mean, it sucks that my fucking shit was stolen, but for her to be like, I'm going to drop a nuke, essentially, what she's saying.
Show me where she said she's going to drop a nuke. I'm waiting for you to link me that.
She's going to start a war.
Show me where it says she's going to start a war. Tell me, I'm waiting.
Said they
show me where. Link me something.
Action. Oh my god, I have to go find it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. What you're making are very bombastic claims. Should be very easy to just Google one line of thing. Yes, these are massive statements. Hillary says she's ready to go to war with Russia. I know the quote you're referring to. I listened to her say it. You're not quoting it correctly. I know exactly what you're talking about. She said that she would consider military action against countries that continue...
Which means war.
Okay.
I mean, what else is it supposed to be?
Let me see if I can explain this. when you go to negotiate with another country and you want to tell them to stop doing something, if your country is not allowed to sanction them or not allowed to engage in military action to stop them, you realize that they won't stop.
It's what it's supposed to be.
What?
So sanctions is what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure she says sanctions in the same comment. I'm pretty sure she mentioned sanctions as well, and says and something more like military action is like a last resort or something. Like, but I'll wait for you to find. I'll wait for you to find the exact video. I mean, I can go find it. I'm if
lazy, but I'll go find it right now.
Okay.
Hillary Clinton war in Russia. But yeah, no, I despise her. This is a video. Where's the tweet?
No, just give me a video. We can watch the video. It takes a minute. The quote is only like a minute and a half long or whatever. Not even that.
Oh, that was probably it then. Putin's warning. This is Putin talking. No, it's not right. I mean, I remember this fucking. I was.
Yeah, I don't think you remember it very well if you think she ever used the term nuclear war in Russia.
Nuke. She didn't say nuke, but
Okay.
it was implied.
No, I don't think so. No, but.
So, wait. Okay, excuse me. All right, so you're anti-Hillary and anti-Trump. So who are you voting for? Or who do you want to be in office?
There are only two options, and it's Hillary or Trump. And because I hate Trump, I have to go with Hillary.
Why do you hate Trump so much?
Because of everything that we've talked about. The first points that I started was that I think that Trump is an idiot. And then we went through statement by statement, and you agreed with me that all these statements that he made were stupid. You agreed that the statements on vaccines cause autism were dumb.
Yes,
you said that the
stupid.
statements on climate change were dumb. You said that building the wall was dumb. So, I mean, we've agreed on a lot of statements where you said things that are...
I agree with you on many, many points.
Okay, and then you also said by your own, you said on your own that
You're trying to catch me. You're probably
I'm not trying to catch you. No. Listen, I don't play games. I don't care about playing games. I don't want to win an argument. I'm using the words that you said. You very specifically said that I think the majority of what Trump says is dumb. That was your exact statement.
Oh,
Okay.
you're right.
So-
I think the majority of what he says is dumb.
Okay, so that's
But
why I
still
don't
think
like.
he's
So
still
that's
dumb.
why I hate Trump, because I think that he's a child and an idiot. That's why I hate Trump.
I think Hillary. Okay, so here's my problem with Hillary. If I'm allowed to say it, Trump is an idiot. He is a big dumbo, but he has good intentions. I really do believe that. As much as he is a multi-billionaire asshole, I think he fucking cares about this country.
Why do you say that?
Because I just think he does.
But you can't give me any reasons. Just because you're in a soft science doesn't mean you have to stay away from like quantitative.
Oh shit! You know I'm in actually a quantitative science. Like I know you call it soft, but it is actually quantitative.
Okay.
I mostly do statistical research.
Okay, so when you
anyway,
go to your professor, or when you go to your higher up or whatever, and you're saying something like, I feel like the majority of American audiences do or do not like this thing, then your
I wouldn't
professor says,
say
give me the
something like-
polling data to support that. You would never just say that's what I feel, right?
No, I wouldn't. And also the polling data is rigged, and I would.
Okay.
definitely-
But, okay. But, so.
Basically what I would say is that Hillary Clinton is a criminal, and I would never ever vote for a criminal, and anyone who votes for her is also criminal. And if we lived in a real democratic state, then they would potentially be responsible for the actions of her via voting for her, and as such are as guilty as she is.
Well, I mean, she wasn't declared guilty in a court of law, as shitty as that sounds. Like,
Because it's rigged. It goes to a very Greek, very ancient form of legal understanding. If you vote for criminality, you are in and of yourself secondarily responsible for that criminality. And Trump, as much as people want to say like, "Oh, grab her by the pussy," is so bad, he is still better than a legal criminal. And I'm sorry, I cannot vote.
well, you can't say legal criminal because Hillary's not a legal criminal because she was.
Yeah, she
she's
accepted money from Qatar and Saudi Arabia.
She's not a legal criminal. What do you think
well-
legal criminal means?
That means she has committed a legal.
That means that she has been convicted of a crime in a court of law. That hasn't happened in the United States.
That's really how we're going to play this. Is just because she hasn't been convicted means she's not a criminal.
As somebody that's a United States citizen and understands that that's one of the most important parts of the United States, yeah, I am going to play it like that. I think that our court system is pretty important. Yeah.
Okay, but what about the fact that she literally controls the courts?
Okay.
No, you don't believe that?
No, you've got it, dude. Hillary and Obama control everything. So anything bad
Control
that comes
everything.
out is their fault, and anything good that comes out is spun by them. I can't win. You got it, dude. Like,
Misrepresent me. I'm saying she controls a lot of shit.
sure. And nothing can ever come back to hurt her.
No, that can't. And I know you're trying to be fucking facetious right now, but
I'm not being facetious. It's just the position that you've taken up is one that's completely and totally unattackable. Because anytime I
Why?
bring up anything to the contrary, you're going to say that it's all spun, the polls are spun, the Hillary controls everything. It's
Stop.
what?
You read any of the allegations against Hillary?
Dog, I listened live to Comey's fucking scathing indictment of her when he went before fucking that panel and said that he didn't recommend charges. I kept up on everything on this election, buddy. I promise you.
Okay, then what do you think about them?
What do you mean, what do I think about it? I think that they're fucking abhorrent. I think it's horrible. I think that anybody working a clearance job in Hillary's position would have been shit canned, if not fucking killed by the fucking government for doing what she did.
So you don't believe there's any sort of conspiracy to make sure by the media, which we know for a fact that she pays for.
How does she pay for? What does she pay for? Like Fox News too, or?
She does not pay for Fox News, at least as far as we know. But she does pay for many others, and it's been
But places like Breitbart and Infowars are like the.
No. It's been indicated through the WikiLeaks that she has journalists from the New York Times, from the Wall Street Journal,
and Washington Post. Yeah, sure. Those are all very liberal organizations. It's not surprising to me. That's how the world works. You will have contacts.
Organization. Okay, so imagine that you were a political candidate and you were trying to run against Hillary, and she controls all media, essentially. Would you consider that fair?
No, Bernie got fucked out of it. He got fucked in the superdelegates and he got fucked in the media by the DNC for it.
So you agree that Bernie got destroyed by Hillary's people?
Yeah, by the Clinton machine is one of the most powerful. You know that none of these leaks that are happening right now, like the Trump video, all of that shit is probably shit that the Clintons had like months in advance, right? None of this is happening by accident.
So why would you vote for Hillary?
Because Trump is an idiot. Trump is an idiot. He's a buffoon. He's a child. He has no temperament. He's not presidential. He's just stupid.
Why would you vote for Hillary?
Because Trump is that much worse. Listen, dude.
No.
As much as it pains me to admit it, I probably would have voted for Cruz over Hillary. Rubio would have been an easy vote. Kasich would have been an easy vote. Even fucking Jebster. The Jebster would have been an easy vote. Even Sleepy Carson probably would have been an easy vote.
Give me one reason why you want to vote for Hillary.
Why do I want to vote for Hillary? Because I don't think that she'll lead to the destruction of the country, because socially, at least, I believe that she's on the right track. And I think that...
She wants to go to war with Russia?
I don't think Hillary wants to go to war with Russia, Doug.
She wants to go to war with Russia?
Okay.
Dude, I know you don't believe me, but you've seen
It's not about believing you. It's about reading unbiased news. You get all of your information from Breitbart, Infowars, and fucking Poll. Like, how am I even...
Breitbart. Listen to me. You've seen the thing that she said about Russia.
Which thing that she said about Russia?
Being responsible for the hacks of the DNC.
Yeah, email hacks, cyber attacks against America. I don't like the idea that other other countries are trying to influence our political system.
I don't either. And I mean, but she said it's like if anyone infiltrates America, we will go to, or what did she say? We'll take.
She said that we will possibly take military measures against countries that commit cyber attacks against our country. Sure.
So, you're not afraid?
I think that that's a necessary thing. I think that that needs to happen. I think that the cyber bullshit needs to be curbed. Yeah, I do think that. I don't want it to lead to war or anything, but I don't think that we need to let people like fucking dig through our information and shit. I think that's really disastrous.
With Russia.
With Russia what?
You really think we need to go to war with Russia?
I don't want to go to war with anyone, no.
Russia should be our friend at this point in time.
Russia's not our friend. I don't think that's ever going to happen at this point.
Oh, we really should be friends with Russia.
I don't think that that's ever going to happen, dog.
Why?
Because it's just not the way the world is played out. Listen, dude, I like the friend to everybody thing. I would like to be friends with Russia. I'm not educated enough to know why it can't happen. I don't know enough history. Maybe it's all history reasons. Maybe once Putin dies, maybe it'll be possible. But right now, tensions between the United States and Russia make it impossible.
Putin is willing to be friends with the U.S.
You don't believe everything Putin says, do you?
No.
Do you think that Russia has done a lot to fight against ISIS and Saudi Arabia and shit?
No, they bombed Syria.
Or I'm sorry, Syria, not Saudi Arabia, my bad. And Syria and shit. Do you think that Russia does a lot to like help fight against like terrorism and shit?
I mean, they bombed Syria.
Okay.
So no, I don't know how I feel about Russia totally.
Okay, so then do you think that Putin wants to be a good guy and just be friends with everybody like all the time?
I don't believe Putin is totally a good guy, but I believe he is willing to be friends with the US, and we should do that because the Cold War is fucking over.
Okay. To some extent, to a large extent, I agree. I like the idea of being friends with everybody. I really do. But
I think that if we are friends with Russia, we can really help the entirety of Eastern Europe.
Sure, but I don't know if it's possible. I just don't. But I do agree that that would be a good thing to do. But I don't think that Trump is the man to do it. Trump seems like the kind of guy that would go into all of... Trump loves Putin, but Trump is ignorant of who Putin is. Putin is one of the most skilled politicians of like the fucking the past like fucking 50 years since I've been alive. Putin is like one of the most intelligent fucking politicians ever. You understand that, right? He's very political. Okay, Trump is a buffoon. Trump praises Putin's leadership and praises the Poles in Russia like he has no idea who he's dealing with. Trump is a total child, a little infant baby when it comes to dealing with politics and the way that Putin handles things, right?
If you think Putin is a buffoon...
No, I don't think Putin is a buffoon. I think Putin is very intelligent. Much more intelligent than Trump. Okay.
Yes, I think Putin is the God King and Trump is the God Emperor. And then we're going to get together and we're going to have... Just kidding. I really think that Putin is not a bad... I mean, he's a maybe bad guy, but he doesn't. We should not go to war with them.
I don't disagree. Nobody wants to go to war with anybody. Nobody needs to go to war with anybody.
Hillary wants to go to war
Hillary
with them.
didn't say she wanted to go to war. Hillary said that we need to have military operations need to be on the table when we're telling Russia not to cyber attack us. There's a big difference between that and saying I want to go to war with someone.
The same goddamn thing. She is going to. And here's the thing: is that I have to move out of here. I'm gonna try my fucking hardest to move into Poland before fucking World War III starts, because this is some fucked up shit. I know that like liberals are like, I'm gonna get out of here if Trump wins, but holy shit, I actually do not want to be. I know I lived in a place where I would never be bombed, but I don't want to be anywhere near it in case there is a nuclear war. Poland is really where it's at.
I mean, like, again, like you're doing the thing and you have no cognitive dissonance. So Hillary has made a statement saying that we need. Are you saying
you don't have any cognitive dissonance?
What?
Or are you saying I actually have no cognitive dissonance?
Yeah, and it boggles my mind. This is you have no consistency, right? So this is the problem. You're saying that Hillary. No. Can I quote you your statements? You're saying that Hillary wants to go to war with Russia, even though all Hillary has said is that we need to be firm in our negotiations and have military and sanctions on the table when we go to negotiate those things, which you do. Otherwise, they're not going to give a fuck. But when Trump says things like, I want to go to war with ISIS, I want to take the oil fields, I want to have troops on the ground, I'm going to go march on ISIS. When he says these things, he's just being hyperbolic and he doesn't actually want to go to war. When he talks about wanting to renege on the Iran deal, Trump doesn't actually want to like instigate anything. He's just being hyperbolic, right?
Wait, I'm sorry. So how do I have cognitive dissonance in this instance?
So do you think that Trump is kind of war hungry?
No, I don't.
Even though he said he wants to put boots in the ground and go to war with ISIS and take the oil fields, you don't think that makes him war hungry?
He is not war hungry with Russia, which is
not Russia. What about so when Trump walks in, when the United States has a standing army in Iraq taking oil fields and then goes into Syria and takes those oil fields from Assad or from ISIS, who took it from Assad, you don't think that Russia would have any interest there?
I think that this is my thought. This is obviously not factual, but this is just my thought. I think that Trump will work shit out with Putin,
How?
And I think that. Because he's friends with Putin. And I think that they will work shit out regarding Syria because Russia has obviously attacked Syria and been the aggressor there. That being said...
Wait, Russia has attacked Syria? What do you mean by that?
Well, there's been some indication that they were sort of responsible behind some of the Syrian violence.
Oh, because Putin hates Assad?
Well, why shouldn't he? I mean...
All right, I think we should move on to the next topic.
Okay. Oh, you don't like this one?
No, I don't.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not comfortable talking about this. I think we should just move on to the next topic.
Okay.
What's the next thing?
I don't know. What did we talk about? So we talked about Well, how much did we really talk about Islam? I'm really interested in this.
I don't want to talk about Islam. Okay, I think I feel like we've covered most of the bases. I feel like you haven't given me a good reason to like Trump.
Really?
Yeah.
You really think I haven't? Okay, so give me a single thing that you hate about Trump, and I will try to debate it. No. We'll go back over it. Anything.
Okay, the total denial of climate change.
We talked about that, but I agreed that he was wrong about it.
Okay.
But I also said that there is climate change, but it is not as simple as it's being presented by liberals.
Okay, the vaccines causing autism thing.
We talked about that, and I said that he was wrong.
Okay, and the building the wall thing.
I said that he was wrong.
Okay,
but that we need it.
Okay.
That we do need more. Sort of control over immigration.
Okay, the banning all Muslim immigrants.
We should probably do that. I will change my position if I said something different before. We should probably change not all Muslim immigrants, but yeah, we should ban most who come from extremely dangerous countries that are listed as that where the most terrorists come from. Okay. Until it's
going to war and taking the oil fields. You think that's a good idea?
No, I didn't say that, though.
Okay. Well, I'm just naming things that Trump has said that I don't like. What about bringing back worse than torture, even though everybody from the CIA said it doesn't work and that America probably shouldn't?
It does not work. Actually, here's the thing that does work. Psychological torture, quote unquote, torture works. Physical torture does not. There's actually some interesting research that indicates that physical abuse is much less damaging than psychological abuse.
So when Trump said that he wants to bring back worse than waterboarding, that was probably a stupid statement.
You should probably bring back waterboarding and bring in psychological
You realize
torture.
waterboarding is a form of physical torture, right?
It is a form of physical torture. I just said he should bring in psychological torture.
Okay, but when he said worse than waterboarding, I don't think he was talking about psychological torture there.
He probably was. Why do you think he's not?
Because every other statement he said has been fucking stupid, and because he walked back on that statement after talking to people about it. You realize Trump walked back on that statement, so even Trump disagreed with that statement. Are you disagreeing with Trump's disagreement?
Yeah, I think that fucking some forms of torture can help, but not physical.
Okay, but everybody in the CIA is just... Can you link me any sources saying that torture is an effective means of gathering information?
Oh, yeah, I will. It'll take me a couple minutes, though.
Because everything that I've read from the CIA reports and everything always seems to indicate that torture doesn't seem to be a good way to get information.
Actually, that is true. Actually, here's the thing. In general, torture is a really shitty way of getting information. Now, what is better between physical and psychological torture is obviously psychological torture, but actually being friends with someone and trying to get information through a friendly interaction and a friendly conversation of information is much better in terms of getting information. So I wouldn't really, I mean, I can go get the information, but to be honest, you're completely right that physical torture is shitty no matter how you do it.
What do you think about Trump's comments that an American judge who has two parents that are Mexican shouldn't be commenting on or ruling on any cases?
Okay, so that was a very specific instance.
It wasn't. He made these blanket statements.
I don't think you understand it.
Do you want? I'm sorry. Before we get into this, do you want to watch the clip where he said that I don't think any Muslim should be allowed to comment on my cases either? Do you want to watch the clip? Because I don't want to talk if you're not familiar with exactly the words he said.
I don't think any Muslim. I don't know. Okay.
You don't think any Muslim should be allowed? A federal judge that happens to be Muslim shouldn't be allowed to comment on a Trump case?
Should be okay. I'm getting really upset, but here's the thing. I hate Islam. I'm gonna say that straight up, and you can call me a racist.
But unfortunately,
it's not racism.
Okay, but you live in the listen. Okay, I'm just telling you. Hold on. You live in the United States of America, so you're not allowed to discriminate on somebody's religion. Okay, I'm sorry if that bothers you, but okay.
I don't want to discriminate on anyone's religion, but I'm saying straight up that Islam is an extremely racist, sexist, horrible religion.
Okay.
And it should be allowed, of course, but holy shit, it is a terrible religion.
Okay.
The whole point is to treat women like trash, treat women like animals, and I don't understand how any woman who considers herself in any way a feminist can support Islam. But go ahead and send me the thing.
Wow. Okay, hold on. Well, I mean, if you accept that he made those statements, so Trump said
No, I
that.
accept you made the statement.
Yeah, so Trump said that no Mexican and no Muslim should be allowed.
I hate Islam.
Okay.
I hate it.
Okay, sure, but Trump said that no Mexican and no Muslim should be allowed to preside on any cases involving him. Do you think that's fair? Federal.
Well,
Do you think it's fair to call a judge that's whiter than me, that was born in the state of Indiana, a Mexican because both of his parents are from Mexico?
No, I don't consider it fair, but do consider the fact that Hillary's literally allowed to get away with absolutely everything fair?
I'm not talking about Hillary right now. I'm talking about stupid statements that Trump.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay, but I'm just going over every single thing that Trump has said.
Okay. Some smaller shit. How come Hillary's allowed to get away with treason? So there.
Okay, so you agree that the Mexican judge comments were probably stupid. What about women being punished for abortion?
I didn't say they were stupid.
Oh, okay. So then you do think that Trump should be allowed to have it so that no Mexicans and no Muslims should be able to preside on his cases, federal judges.
No, send me the fucking link where he says that.
Okay, hold on.
No, I'm not. Why do you fucking think I'm a psychopath?
I mean, because Trump is one.
Just because I don't agree with Hillary, just because I like Trump, I have to be an absolute crazy person?
I'm just quoting things that Trump has said exactly. I'm not giving you any hyperbolic statements. These are words from Trump's mouth. Here, we can watch this. Load the video and we'll watch it at the same time, okay? I'll tell you when to start, okay? You ready? Let me know when you got it loaded, okay?
Okay, I got it up.
All right, 3, 2, 1,
go.
Mexican heritage. I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. I am going to do very well with the Hispanics, the Mexicans.
So
everybody.
no Mexican judge could ever be involved in a case that involves you?
He's a member of a society where, very pro-Mexico, and that's fine. It's all fine. But
Except that you're calling into question his
heritage. I think he should recuse himself.
Because he's
Then
Latino.
you also say, does he know the lawyer on the other side? I mean, does he know the lawyer? A lot of people say
But I'm
yes.
not talking about that. I'm talking about
that's another problem.
But you're invoking his race when talking about whether or not he can do his job.
Jack, I'm building a wall. Okay, I'm building a wall. I'm trying to keep business out of Mexico. Mexico's fine. There's nothing.
But he's American. He's an American.
He's of Mexican heritage, and he's very proud of it, as I am where I come from.
But he's
my
an
parents.
American. You keep talking about
Jake.
It's a conflict of interest because of Mexico.
Are you ready? I have a case that should have been dismissed already. I have thousands of people saying Trump University is fantastic, okay? I have a case that should have been dismissed. I have a judge that never, ever gives a... Now we lose the plaintiff. He lets the plaintiff of the case out. So why isn't he canceling the case? So we thought we won the case.
So you disagree with his rulings. I totally understand that,
not
but
me.
you're...
I've had lawyers come up to me say, you are being treated so unfairly. It's unbelievable. You know the plaintiffs in the case have all said wonderful things about the school, and they're suing. You know why they're suing? Because they want to get their money back.
I don't really want to litigate the case
You have to.
of Trump University.
Because if he was giving me fair rulings, I wouldn't say that.
My question is...
Jake, if you were giving me fair rulings, I wouldn't be talking to you this way. He's giving me horrible rulings.
I don't care if you criticize him. That's fine. You can criticize every decision. What I'm saying is, if you invoke his race as a reason why he can't do his job...
I think that's why he's doing it.
But
I think that's why he's doing it.
When Hillary Clinton says it's a racist attack...
Hillary Clinton is a stiff. If Hillary Clinton
Paul
becomes president...
Paul Ryan today said he didn't care for the way that you were attacking this judge.
Look,
So he said, I think that's what he's doing. If you want, this isn't the full thing. I can find the clip where this guy goes on to ask him, do you think that Muslims shouldn't be allowed to rule on your thing either? And he says, probably.
I don't know. I think that what he is saying here, okay, so part of the problem in this instance is that we have to be kind of legitimate in that Hillary is crooked.
I'm not talking about Hillary.
No. I know you're not. But he is. He's talking about how her campaign is going to twist this meeting into being...
You don't have to twist the meeting. We just watched his full speech, dude. There was no twisting there. Listen.
I don't
okay.
think so. I
listen.
really, really think he just said it's not, my shit. It's just someone else being upset. And why is it Trump's fault?
Trump said that the guy, because he gave him an unfavorable ruling, probably did it because he's a Mexican. Do you understand why people look at people like that and wonder if there's like a racial aspect involved to it?
Why
When people
do you believe that's not a possibility?
Typically,
serious.
Apples, are you in chat right now? I've got a few lawyer friends. Apples, if you're in a case and you get an unfavorable ruling from a judge, is the first thing you guys do you go to like the plaintiff or whatever, and do you ask, or do you go to like the DA or whatever? Do you get like, yo, like, where are you from? Like, your parents are Irish? Well, you know, my family fucking used to fuck potatoes in the backyard, and I hear that you guys are Irish. Maybe that's why he gave us unfavorable rulings. Do you think that that's like the normal way that people function, like in courtrooms?
Listen to me for a second. I really did get an unfavorable thing because I was driving down the street and I accidentally bumped into a car because I was going through a very rough portion of my life, and I got fined now. Like, it's looking at like $8,000 for literally touching a car where there was no.
Wait, I thought you only rode a bike.
This is when I had a car. I sold my car because of this.
Did you have liability insurance?
I did, but it was a black man, and now that's why I had to sell my car.
Wait, if you had liability insurance, it should have covered the accident.
It didn't matter.
How did it not matter?
Because my car, the insurance went up so far that I couldn't afford to pay for it anymore.
So you didn't have insurance when you got in the accident?
I did have insurance, but the insurance went up. Do you understand how insurance works?
I know very well how insurance works. Both of my houses are insured and my car is insured. I know very well how insurance works. Please explain it to me.
Okay, well, after you get into an incident, your insurance goes up.
Okay. That should have no impact on the actual accident that happened, though. Your premiums will go up, but that specific incident should still be covered by your liability insurance.
It went up by such a degree I couldn't afford to keep it.
Doesn't matter. If you were covered at the time of the accident, you could cancel your insurance the day after. It doesn't matter.
And do what? Just take all of the nothing, the nothing thing? Nothing. Because nothing happened to his car, but he gave me like a $7,000 bill.
Yeah, but if you were... he gave you that bill, or was it delivered via judgment from a court?
From a court.
Okay, so why didn't your liability pay that in your insurance company?
It did, but it only paid for some of it. And then my insurance went up so high that it was like I couldn't afford to pay it anymore.
Okay.
So I just sold my car.
Sure.
Because I just knocked into a dude.
Did you get a lawyer for the case?
Do you think I could afford one?
You should have found a way to get a lawyer.
This looks like some privilege to me.
What?
What you're saying right now, it sounds like some privilege. I didn't have the ability to pay for a lawyer.
Getting a loan to pay for the lawyer would have saved you more money than going through that court case.
Sell my car because
sure, maybe you wouldn't have had to if you would have had a lawyer. Listen.
And I do not have the money to pay for a lawyer.
I'm just giving you personal advice for the future. If you're ever involved in anything that could carry huge fines or potential jail time, traffic lawyers are like $1,000 a pop. If an accident is involved, it might be more, but it's always worth your time to get a lawyer. Listen. Listen. I'm just telling you, if you ever have to go to court for something serious, always get a lawyer. You have to get a lawyer, okay? That's just like a personal piece of advice, okay?
I love how everyone's like, having a lawyer is not white privilege, but they love.
Okay, no. I'm not even talking memes. I'm just saying that, like, in the future, if you ever get into some shit like that, I highly recommend you get a lawyer. Even if you've got to borrow money, even if you got to get a payday advance to do it, you have to get a lawyer for court cases like that. Otherwise, you can get severely fucked. I'm just saying for the future.
Really fucked. I had to sell my car.
Okay, so I don't know. I don't think this had anything. It sounds like, not to be mean, but it sounds like you were at fault for the accident.
I was at fault. I literally touched him going 0.01 mile an hour.
So why did the judge award him $8,000 in damages?
Because about 12 months after it happened, he said that it hurt him.
I feel like you're leaving a little bit out here.
Probably not. He was a police officer, so he just got to do whatever. And a black police officer at that. I seriously, I was at a light, and I let my foot off the brake for a second, and it bumped into the back of his car.
And he was awarded $8,000 for that.
More than that, actually.
I have a hard time believing that.
Okay, that's nice. I like how you have a hard time believing reality, but when a black person tells you they were, like, killed or raped by a white person, that's really easy to believe.
I don't believe that either without the police report. No, I don't believe that shit.
I mean, I'm not going to give anyone my fucking police report because that gives all of my life information. But yeah, it was a complete nightmare.
Did he have a lawyer? Yeah, no, he would have a lawyer because he's a police officer. They'll have defenders and shit that work for the police unions or whatever.
Yeah, it's the police. They have like a whole fucking I don't know, I guess a lawyer union or whatever that defends them.
It wouldn't.
And I had no idea he was a police officer. But yeah, it was awful. And I'm really lucky, honestly, that I'm not dead, to be honest, because the cops are killers.
Because they would hunt you down and kill. I thought this was what liberals believed. I thought you loved cops.
I really think. Really?
Yeah.
I hate the.
Oh,
Why do you
shit.
Think, why do you think that a right-leaning person likes the police?
Because Trump brags about getting the support of police unions all the fucking time. Because love of police and all that.
Because they should probably be fucking controlled more directly. I hate the police.
Okay, Trump loves the police. You know that, right?
He's a narco-communist. Like, I despise the police. I know he likes the police, but I hope he'll fucking fix them. Because the police are a...
You know that Trump wants to bring back things like stop and frisk, right? He's for that.
I don't know, but they're fucking... It's a militarized police force. It's a militarized industry that's designed to...
Oh, hold on. When you bumped into that police officer, did you have to blow?
Yes.
Were you over?
You mean in terms of weed or in terms of alcohol?
Either.
Weed probably, yeah, but...
Oh, so now we got a DUI. Oh, okay.
A DUI.
Oh, okay. So a little bit. Okay, never mind. All right, I was just curious.
Don't, whoa me.
Well, I mean, we left out a pretty important part of the story there. I mean...
I was smoking weed before? Is that really? Do you really think that weed affects people's driving ability?
Absolutely. As somebody that's had friends that have smoked, for sure, 100%. Of course it does.
That's insanity.
Marijuana? You're a psychologist. You really don't think that being under the impairment of marijuana impacts your ability to drive? You really don't think that?
Not really. I'm kind of drunk, but yeah.
Huh. Okay. I mean, I feel like we've gone over all the major Trump points. Like,
I mean, I don't understand. Wait. So, are you pro marijuana or anti?
I'm fine with it. I think marijuana should be legalized. I don't think people should drive under the influence of any kind of anything, though.
Marijuana? I'm
Yes.
sorry. What?
What?
You really think? I mean, they didn't catch me for anything. So, but I still lost my car and all kinds of other shit for that.
Okay, sure, but what does that have to do? I don't think people should drive under the influence of any drug. I don't think that's good.
I mean, I can probably agree, but I wasn't that high, seriously.
Yeah, and how many people get into a car and they weren't that drunk, you know? Like, really, I'm not that drunk. I can drive home.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I had to blow. I completely got off. The only fucking thing is that, you understand, do people in your fucking chat understand that if you blow, it's only for DUI? I think they're kind of stupid. They don't understand how marijuana works.
Okay, so I feel like we've talked about most of the major Trump
Okay,
points.
so now you're gonna, all right. So I know you're gonna say you won, but
I'm not going to say I won. It's just a discussion, dog. There's no winners or losers. The people that agreed with me, before coming to this still agree with me. And the people that agreed with you probably still agree with you coming into this. There's not much that these discussions really do. I mean, I'm not looking for
thank you for talking to me. I got a bunch of subscribers to my Twitch, so that's okay.
Oh, well, that's good. I do think that it's interesting, though, that I feel like I held my conversation against you pretty well. I don't think I sounded like a faggot. I don't think that I felt bad and cried and let you win because I have to check my privilege.
No. Don't read my poll.
Okay, yeah, no, I just wanted to, I think...
I don't know who you are, okay? I didn't know who you were. And when I think about leftists, I often think of people who are
about the people presented to you on poll.
Just
sure.
fucking hang my penis at the door and fucking kill myself because I'm so sad of my privilege. And so that obviously was not the case. I just really hope that I don't lose my job because of this. Yeah.
All right. Well,
anyway.
I had fun. Thank you. I appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, thank you. It was actually really fun.
Yeah. Good luck in your PhDs and your teaching and your streaming memes. All right.
All right. Thanks.
Have fun.
Bye.
I think this was a mistake, guys. Oh my God. in the past when we've talked about non-politically oriented things before, I guess this is a really biased recap because obviously I view everything I say more favorably. But like one of the things that I said before that I think is really important when you evaluate your own beliefs is I think that internal consistency from belief to belief is very, very, very important, right? So if you say something like, I don't think a black guy should be able to have a job because he's got a, black people in general suck at working, but then you have like a Mexican friend and you think that like, oh, like this guy shouldn't be treated differently, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, why do you feel about one but not about the other? Like that's inconsistent, right? I feel like you should always work as a person to resolve mental inconsistencies in any kind of arguments or thoughts you had. So the things that usually bother me the most when I argue with people is when they are inconsistent with their arguments. So that's why I was really big on her pointing to gender equality mattering when it comes to custody, but not mattering when it comes to job selection, or when rape statistic skepticism is important when you talk about American rapes versus when you're talking about Swedish rapes, or when something to do with the black people being convicted for more crimes. I don't remember what the parallel there was, but like that kind of stuff really bothers me.
Where did we go wrong as a country?
Destiny, you chose the literal lowest hanging fruit. So like everybody tells me that all the time, and I'll say this every single time. Like I will talk to anybody that wants to talk to me. I do not pick low-hanging fruit. I do not pick specific people, okay? Apparently yesterday, or I guess some people think that I posted one of my videos on 4chan. I don't fucking need the 25 people that browse fucking poll to come and watch my YouTube shit, okay? Some people think that I posted a video on 4chan, but somebody posted a video of mine to poll, and then a bunch of people started reading it. Obviously, I know what the response is going to be there because I know the type of people that visit poll, right? But then a lot of people were saying shit like, and I see this, and I'll say this, I've said this every single time we've done this, and I'll say it every single time coming forward. Everybody always says that, hold on.
Hey buddy, I used to be an egalitarian of sorts, but thanks to this bullshit I know that women's suffrage was a mistake and only land-owning males should be allowed to vote. Fuck me, I'm going to sleep.
But the, fuck, what was I talking about now? Oh, every time I have a discussion like this, I'll pull a random person from Twitter, I'll pull a random person from 4chan, I'll pull a random person from my chat, I'll pull a random person from Reddit. Whoever the fuck wants to come up and have these discussions, I'll do it with anybody. I don't give a fuck. I don't plant people. I don't pick people specifically. I don't know why. I'll fucking pull people from my YouTube fucking comments because more often than not, the people that I end up talking to, their positions are untenable. Like that's just, and now whether you think that's because I'm egotistical or what, but more often than not, that's usually what happens. One of two things tend to happen. Either their position is completely indefensible, or we end up agreeing on most things, but we got hung up on like a semantic thing, right? Which is why, why I like having these voice conversations rather than arguing on Reddit or 4chan or Twitter. A lot of people levy the criticism on me. They're like, oh, well, you just want to bully people on your stream. Blah, blah. No, it's because having an intelligent discussion via voice is so much more conducive to having an intelligent conversation than doing it on fucking Twitter or Reddit where people are, keyboard warrioring and it just gets way too sidetracked and stupid at that point.
Do you even know how insurance works? Lol.
Oh, shit, dude. I can't believe she asked me that. Have you ever worked a real job before? Thanks, Nasclaf.
Here you go, buddy. You deserve it.
Destiny, check your Twitter. More people want to debate you. I mean, like...
We should get a more sane viewpoint. Can we call your mom?
I probably need to get something to eat. I haven't eaten yet today, and I'm hungry as fuck. And I just talked for like 2 fucking hours. I can only endure so much of the mental gymnastics. One of the problems that I have personally is that I have like a very, very negative view. I talked about this a little bit this morning. I have a very negative view of people in general, and these discussions don't help that. I guess like it really bothers me that somebody that can be, I don't want to attack somebody specifically. Like it really bothers me that she claims and apparently really does have a PhD, which involves a large amount of studying in academics, but doesn't understand that you can't make certain statements, right? Like making factual claims or what she was making were causal links, even if she was saying that she wasn't. Like that kind of stuff like really bothers me because I feel like once you're past a certain level of education, we should be able to have a really intelligent conversation about things, which I look forward to. Educated people are fun to talk to because they usually know more than you about a topic and you get a lot of information. But when you're talking to somebody that makes all of these insane statements, like I don't know, that really bothers me.
You monster.
She didn't have a psych PhD. It doesn't matter what kind of PhD. A PhD is a PhD. It represents a certain amount of studying. Somebody that went to school for a PhD should be more educated than the average person, right? I don't know, dude. Because having a great memory and academic skills does not mean you have good, consistent, cognitive, critical thinking.
Almost 2 years ago to the day, I saw the VODs of you talking to XJ9 and have been a very consistent viewer ever since. After tonight, I hope there are more people like me. Bonus meme, Nuke Russia.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I'm starting to see a trend here. They disagree with everything that Trump said. But Trump will magically make great trade deals, bring back all the lost jobs, lower our taxes but still fix our deficits, and with his buddy Putin, bring world peace. Also, thanks for seeing my comment and calling her on the DUI. That made my night. I felt like I finally stopped shit posting and contributed to the stream for once.
Yep.
She has a PhD in anecdotal evidence, wow.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Those memes, dude.
I think now it's time to sit down, have a beer, and teach me some StarCraft 2. Please respond.
Someday, Cake Fork. Get a real Trump supporter? Yeah, but like, do you think that it's a coincidence that every time I try to pull on a Trump supporter, like, these are the kinds of conversations that happen? Like, do you think that's just a coincidence? Like,
I disagree on a PhD is a PhD. My father has a PhD in kinesiology and a DPT. And he still 100% believes Obama is a Muslim from Kenya.
oh, fuck, dude. Steven, do you seriously not realize it's just your demographic? I mean, I pull people from Reddit, I pull people from my YouTube channel, and this person was pulled from Poll. So I mean,
Put
like, what?
me in the YouTube video, Jewel Wield, you cuck.
So what do you want me to... Where do I find people at? Where are all of these intelligent Trump supporters at? Where do I find them? Did I go to college? Yeah, but I dropped out. I worked too much. I went to college for music, but my work schedule was too brutal and I ended up flunking out. But don't worry, guys. You too can flunk out of college and become a big meme debater on Twitch. Oh, you should debate Milo? I thought it was really funny that... I think... Have all the Trumples now disavowed Milo? Has that happened now for sure? Or... So Milo was involved in two shady things. I think all that money that he accepted to make those scholarships never materialized. Although, maybe he just hasn't done it yet.
Hey, buddy got banned last week. It's been rough. I'm sorry about what I said, buddy. You know I love... Could you please let me back in the club? And then Milo was involved with some weird scammy shit that happened in the Donald subreddit. Did you guys see that? Where there was some weird dude collecting donations that Milo supported who ended up being a scammer? Why did you let that Putin Assad shit slide?
Oh no, I almost lost it. I had to stop and think for a moment there if I really wanted to go hard on that or if I just wanted to move on. And I think I just wanted to move on. Oh no, dude, I just had to move on.
Am I still the worst Destiny? Seriously, Mang, come on. Me the Dark Jew 12 really all that bad? Bonus meme, play Factorio, you dirty monkey cuck fuck.
Can you explain the Putin-Assad stuff? Oh, yeah, sure. Putin and Assad are very close to one another. Putin definitely supports Assad, and I think the United States really hates Assad because Assad and Putin
Destiny, I know
get along
you've
so
talked
much.
about doing podcasts in the past. Well, I think you found the jackpot, buddy. Just do this once a week and start raking in the views. Also, how hard are you right now?
The only reason that Assad still works is because he's propped up so hard by Russia while the United States is trying to topple him. So to hear
Here's
that...
dollar, treat yourself to something good, baby cakes.
So to hear somebody talking about foreign politics try to say that Putin hates Assad kind of triggered me. But I just wanted to move on because there was nothing conducive that would have come out of that conversation, I think.
Destiny, why do you claim to have objectively won that argument when you literally told? Here, there is no winner. You're framing it as if she was retarded and had no legitimate points, which is simply false, TBH.
I'm not trying to frame anything as a win or loss. I very specifically haven't said if I won or lost. I'm not even interested in that.
It really hurt when she called Canadians Maplebacks. I've never ever heard that before in my life. Apparently it means a dirty Canadian citizen. Defeals.
Have you ever thought about how easy it would be to bilk right-wingers for money, just circle jerk joining them and then sell them worthless prepper junk? Yeah, dude, people do it all the time. If you listen to the conservative stations, the way that you milk conservatives for money is to sell them food supplies for emergency scenarios and disasters that Obama's going to cause, to sell guns at marked up prices every time a Second Amendment right comes up, which stores around here do. I've seen it in Omaha. It happens where people will jack up the price of ammunition and shit anytime there's a scare that like Democrats are going to take your guns away. And then you do it by selling shit like gold and silver because the dollar is going to collapse, and then like survival shelters and shit and safes and stuff. You sell them anything that you can get by fear mongering.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under the meme king, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Destiny, you saying all Trump supporters are like this, which implies that you won and she lost. Are you claiming it doesn't? I think that she said a lot of really stupid things. I'm going point by point. I don't care about who won or lost. It doesn't serve any purpose to talk about a winner or a loser to a debate. I just think that she said a lot of things that were really dumb. Do you feel like Glenn Beck was one of those people and now it's trying to work against his image? No, Glenn Beck is getting fucked because Glenn Beck rejected Trump and all of the Republican base is trying to stand behind him. Beck has been in a lot of trouble. The Blaze got fucking hurt so bad because he refused to cover positive stories for Trump.
Did you see the announcement that Kespa just announced the discontinuation of SC? Pro League, Linky.
Yep, I mean that's what we have up on stream right now. Do you agree with toppling Assad's regime? I don't like everything that has to do with all of that shit, so I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't like any of that shit. I think it has too many negative repercussions that come back on us, but that's a whole other discussion. I don't like Hillary's foreign policy. I think it's better than Trump's, but I don't like Hillary.
Destiny, if you want to debate or talk to someone who likes Trump over Clinton, tweet Sargon Avakad. He does stream talks with everyone like you. You can leech off of his 200,000 YouTube subscribers, JWSTINY.
I don't think,
Sippy based God over Russell based God, no tears.
I don't think any of those YouTuber guys would ever have a conversation with me. It doesn't seem like those people talk to people that disagree with them much at all. That seems pretty rare. I don't see, usually in those channels, they just bring on people to circle jerk their own opinions. Everybody's just wants a big hug box. Liberals do it too, just as much, if not more than conservatives, but both sides do the hug box thing, like pretty hardcore. I thought that an argument with the Shkreli guy, that Martin Shkreli? Shkreli or Shkreli? It's Shkreli, right? I always thought that an argument with him would be very interesting because he seems like he's a really intelligent person, and I think we disagree on a lot of things politically, so it would be really cool to figure out why he thinks the things that he does. I feel like that would be like a really good discussion for me, but...
I was going to work today, but instead I listened to this for the past 3 hours. Thanks for the dank memes, Destiny.
No problem, buddy.
When Destiny saw the breadth of his domain, he wept, for there were no more Trumples left to debate. Destiny, can we just think back to when you called her out on her poll post? Deckers.
Oh, this guy's mad because I said 60% of people overstay their visas, but it's actually 40%. My bad. Fuck me, dude. Why I think he's brainwashed? For example, he just said, Trump said rude things about Mexicans. This was debunked thousands of times. What do you mean debunked? We can go and
Destiny,
listen to...
Martin Shkreli makes himself extremely available. He basically streams on a daily basis. You could probably get in contact and debate him right now if you wanted to.
And now they're beating us economically. They are not our friend, believe me. But they're killing us economically. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I speak...
You don't think this is a really fucking stupid statement? Like, is this video fake? Like, you don't think this statement is, like, really dumb? Like, I don't know, dude. Burnouts never learn. That's so funny that you say that, dude. I cannot wait. I'm probably gonna sleep like...
I'm kind of curious what would be the ideal foreign policy in relation to Syria, Russia, And then in general, what is more preferable to what you want to do to what Hillary wants to do in general, or on a point-by-point basis if you can? I lost it when she said Islam was a medieval religion. The 600s is medieval now. Also Wahhabism versus generic Sunni Islam. What? Dank memes though.
I'm gonna sleep for like 24 hours before the election night so that I can stay awake for the next like 36 hours watching the destruction of the Donald and poll. Like those subreddits, how many people, we should make like a, I'll do it actually. We're gonna make like a bingo card, and like the centerpiece will probably be like election rigged, and then like all the different things that'll be said on that night when fucking Trump gets smashed. Oh my god. It'll be a glorious fucking night.
Honest question, if Trump wants to build a wall, can we get intel on if Mexico has ladder technologies? Thanks, love the stream.
If Shkreli wants to discuss anything with me, he has to send me a DM on Twitter, and I have to do it off stream, because Twitch isn't, because I think he's banned on Twitch.
Black Trump versus Hillary. I want Trump versus Destiny. DANKMEMES.
Trump judge has a side business called La Raza, which provides legal aid to illegal Mexican immigrants. Doesn't that create a conflict? Okay, so...
I was supposed to go to culinary school today, but instead I listened to this memory. Good morning from Israel, uo.
Again, like, these are the Trumbles. Like, you'll make an excuse for every single thing Trump says. Like, what you just said, listen to me. If Trump would have gone on to that interview and Trump would have said, I don't like this judge because he has ties to La Raza or whatever, I think that I think there's a massive conflict of interest here. I think that, like, he could have given a ton of great reasons, and I would have 100% been like, yeah, that's totally reasonable. It's the fact that he went on and he said, it's a Mexican judge and he's proud of being Mexican, and I wouldn't let Muslims or Mexicans rule on my stuff. That you realize there's a difference there, right? There's a huge difference between those two things, right? What does La Raza have to do with Trump University? The story was supposedly that the Mexican judge supports hyper-nationalistic Mexican organizations. Like La Raza is supposed to be very, very, very big on so he was trying to say that there's a conflict, which may or may not be true. I didn't look into it any more than that. That's just the shit that I saw reported. I don't know if La Raza is actually like really really extremist or not. I don't actually know. But that's the... That's what I read. And if that's true, those are legitimate things.